Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. I got myself another beautiful, beautiful sunny day. I wouldn't want to walk outside in it, but it's beautiful from the inside the air conditioning.
Well,
And
there
I
you go.
got myself a half a cup of almost hot coffees, and I'm sitting with friends. So, you know,
Nice.
these are good things. Nice to have everybody here. We're going to be continuing on with our story, of course, here at Iron Pass, which is, I think, going really well. This one is definitely more of a story than just go kill that and then that over there and count that gold. But I'm good. Anyway, hello everybody. How you guys doing?
Hi, hi, hi.
You're high.
So it
Okay.
finally
What manner of
rained?
drug are you on, lady?
There's a kite.
Oh, not enough.
Not enough. Oh, fair. There is a point in life where that is the answer, though. Yeah, that is the answer. But yeah, it's been an interesting week, I guess. Um,
Mhm.
I've seen, of course, there's always politics, is in America. That's all we seem to care about. But
Of course.
we also have had some movie stuff,
Oh yeah. Anything
We
good?
have.
which
I'm
Yeah,
was
sorry.
I,
I haven't.
which
I've
was
been
bad.
busy with.
well, it
Yeah,
usually is,
sad movie stuff.
but
It usually is. You're right. But they weren't great. Although I did watch Long Legs, so
Oh,
go watch
you
that
did
if you.
mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
a
looking
psychological thriller. I don't know, I guess it's a little bit of horror, but yeah, the director there has got a pretty good feel, pretty good handle on how to do the tension thing, and I thought Nick was wonderfully being Nick, Nick Cage. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Go watch it. I watched a couple other horror movies as I'm just killing time, guys. But
Yeah.
I did watch a couple other horror movies, and they
Mhm.
were folklore themed. Yep.
Okay.
One was called Ouija Castle, the worst name ever, and it
Yep.
was basically about Sleeping Beauty, and it was
Okay.
pretty solid. I mean, it's a B movie, but they put their best foot forward with that one. The name is
Awesome.
dumb, but it's not full moon
Yeah.
level, dumb. But the name is really stupid. But it was pretty solid horror movie. Then I watched the movie. It looked like it was made by exactly the same people with similar beats, but nowhere near as good. Called The Curse of Cinderella.
What?
Yeah,
Seriously.
Ba-na-na-na.
that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
Mm-mm.
It was bad. They had an idea, but they didn't really execute it like the Sleeping Beauty one. I don't know what it is, but recently we've had these old, kind of like grim fairy tales, trying to make these low budget horrors with them. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Did
good.
somebody tell them that Cinderella's not particularly scary?
Oh well, they made it so.
Well, neither is Woody the Pooh, but yet
But
people
yeah,
do it.
and we got Mickey Mouse coming too.
Yep.
Cinderella is a
Ah.
Chinese story originally.
Hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah. The fairy godmother is actually a fish.
Of course it is.
Yeah, a carp,
Mhm.
a
Wait a minute.
koi.
Why would a fish have shoes?
Well, it is the shoes aren't as prevalent. That was an addition of the Europeans. You know how white women are. But anyway, but yeah, it is. So's Aladdin. That's another one. It's a Chinese story. They got adapted into 1001 Arabian Nights.
I did
Uh,
know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I watched some movies this week.
Right.
Next week I'm going to be here, so it doesn't matter. Although I'm not going to be here on the Monday. I'm being taken to Hiroshima again.
Oh.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, it is
Why
what
is
it is.
that?
I don't
Yeah.
know. My wife's
So
company
you.
goes there every year for something. I think a part of their
Is it
business is there, and she drags me
is it
along.
is it
Mm.
still radioactive?
I would imagine. Yeah, but it's all right. I made my kids. It's done. I got two out there in the
Okay.
world. And they have all their limbs and eyes and stuff. So it's all good.
That's good. No extras, right?
No, not that I've been aware of. No, but
Okay.
now Hiroshima's okay. It's not much to do there, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean it's okay. Although because we go there all the time, we stay at the there's a place over called the Royal Prince Hotel. It's the
Yeah.
hotel that where all the dignitaries come to Japan. They put them in there. It's a really nice hotel.
So they don't have
Beautiful view.
kids.
What do you say?
So they don't have kids.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. But it
Smart.
does have a gorgeous view, and it literally the hotel is sitting right on the water, so there's a ferry. It takes you anywhere you want to go. But they have two amazing Michelin restaurants in that hotel. And
Ooh.
one of them is a Chinese, but it's not a buffet. It's you know how you ever had? I'm sure you guys have been to a French course style meal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
No.
once.
yeah. Well, this one I think is 9 courses, and it about kill
Oh
you.
boy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a whole, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Because that's the thing people always complain about French food, and it's like, well, you're clearly not eating it properly because when they keep bringing those damn courses, they may be small, but boy, they add up, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this one's rough to get through. However, it's some of the best Chinese food you'll ever eat in your life.
Cool.
You know,
Do
so
you ever regret, like, "Oh, I wish I had 3 more portions of that thing than this," or is it all really good?
oh, that always happens when you eat French food or French style. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh.
That's always true. But no, I mean, in general, it's all really good. I mean, it is a Michelin restaurant, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, that's the thing. If you have food that you hate,
Mhm.
that you just it's a food you don't like, but you get a chance to go to a high level, to an actual chef restaurant. Doesn't have to be Michelin or Rosetta. It's not necessary. But a real chef, an actual chef,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Not a cook. If there's food that shows up that you don't like, try it anyway. Because, well, no, because that's the thing with the chef. They're supposed to be able to take things that aren't usually very good, but make them excellent. That's the point,
Right.
right?
That's what makes you good.
That's right. And they 90% of the time pull it off, right? So,
Mhm.
go for that. Like, do you guys like abalone?
What's
I
that?
don't know that I had it. And that's not bologna. That's not you have it in a sandwich.
Abalone, the shellfish, the really super
Right.
expensive shellfish.
I've
Never
never
heard of
had
it.
it.
Is it
Oh,
good?
okay.
I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
I've had it many times in my life, and I never like it. It's
Mm.
always like, because over here, or even in America, but anywhere in the world, but over here, it's the delicacy. It's caviar. It's that kind of thing. It's super high level delicacy, right?
Yeah,
Um,
we almost ran it into extinction. There was such a craze in the 20s.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was, yeah,
But the thing with it though, I've had it many times. I
early
mean, shoot, I
extinction.
can walk into the water right here and pull it out of the ocean. I mean, we got a ton of it here in this little cove. But
That's it.
I just never care for it. I don't understand what the hype is. I love scallop. Shrimp are
Mhm.
good. Lobster, sure. Oysters, yeah. But I never got into abalone.
Right.
I've had it many times. I've had to eat it. You just got to sit there and eat it,
Mhm.
right? But I did have it one time in Taichung, Taiwan. And it was at a really high level fancy Chinese restaurant. Well, Taiwan.
Mhm.
So I guess it wasn't a Chinese restaurant. It was a restaurant.
It's Taiwanese.
It was
Yes.
just restaurant, right? But it was really high level one, and that was
Mhm.
actually excellent. So I guess you just how you
Wow.
cook it.
That's probably true.
Yeah,
Hmm. Well, I mean, that's cool, right? Have you ever tried do you think that's something you could smoke and it would be good? Or
probably.
that would be
I just never. It's just the odd texture. It doesn't have very much flavor. It's kind of one of those
mm,
foods that's just dead in your mouth. You know?
mm, why would you
Hmm.
bother?
Yeah. Not like
So I
eggplant,
did.
which I absolutely I hate eggplant with such a passion.
Yeah, but if someone knows how to do eggplant right,
It's good. You're right.
it's a meat.
You're right.
Yeah, I did a
Yes.
lot of when I was out and lived in
It is
Manhattan. I just experienced as many different kind of foods as I could get my hands on.
Sure.
Yeah,
it
the
is
whole you
amazing.
get everything all over the world there.
Yeah. Always try.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah.
Always
Mhm.
try.
Absolutely.
You never know.
I I did get a hold of Tower, and he says he'll try and make it tonight, but he's probably going to be pretty late. So
Oh, I hope he's all right.
no, he's fine. He was just out helping someone, and
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right then. Good enough then. So I guess we'll get into it. Um, Although I do always like our little chats.
Yeah.
It can be fun.
They can be fun. Yeah. As long as they don't get into the politic, because that's getting stupid. So,
You want to see what I'm drawing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I've
it
got
safe for the family consumption?
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
For now.
Oh, for now.
Not gonna get his channel knocked down. All right.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
well,
still early yet.
yeah.
Okay.
Just let me
So this
talk
is
for 5 minutes, I think. Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's
doing the larva, the old D&D
larvae. Yeah.
version of what is it? The first form that evil spirits get to when they go to the
Right.
negative
Right.
planes.
This is in the abyss. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is first edition monster for
Yeah. Yeah.
and I just am having fun. I put there on the left is Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Yeah. As you
Yeah.
do. Well, he's
Yeah.
certainly a spawn of Satan. There's no question about it.
He has the most sinister
He
face.
does.
So
He does. So how someone
yeah.
didn't notice that and didn't make him Joker, I will never understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either. He
I
would have
wonder
been
if
a
he was
great pick.
in the running for that one.
Oh, he'd be
I don't
perfect.
know.
He's naturally the Joker. Anyway, I
Yeah.
see. Is that D'Onofrio sitting up there?
No, actually, Defoe's really the only face that I grabbed. Like, is the only. I mean, and I exaggerated it a lot because I didn't want to. I didn't want to plagiarize a photograph, but
Well, it's
it's a
okay.
pretty.
I'll just
Yeah.
put my
So
own opinions in there. We got Megan Fox.
there
We
you go.
got the some manner of politician. Voldemort has made it in human form. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see
There you go.
here. Nick Cage. I don't appreciate that very much, sir.
I was thinking that's Ross from Friends, whoever that actor was.
Oh,
But
well, the one next to it. I'm talking the one above it. That's definitely Nick Cage.
on the top.
I see Lex Luthor.
I do too. Yeah, definitely get a Lex Luthor there, and
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell. Perfect.
Rosie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm gonna do some like creepy mountains in the background, and then throw some flames in here coming out of these crevices
Sure.
as soon as I finish those.
Yeah, but
And
no,
that's
that is
about
very
it.
first edition. They later made him more like a shambling mound or like a zombie, like a melted zombie looking thing.
Yeah.
But I
Oh, is
do,
The
that?
yeah,
Lemray or whatever.
Yeah.
But I like
Tamer.
the original larvae because it kind of, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. You've been reborn in a new place, and your
As a
body has to grow, and it's just this. And of course, we're talking
you,
about hell here, so
yeah, and you start off as the lowest level. You're just a grub with your head on it. I mean, that's
it's
so
awesome.
disturbing.
It is
Yes,
awesome.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I cheated. I grabbed a brush to make the cracks, and I'm gonna clean those up a little bit because they really pull the eye. Like the dark lines on these cracks pull the eye away too much.
Yeah.
It gets too busy. So I have to tone those down and chase it. But other
Especially if
than
you're
that,
adding mountains in the back.
oh, and that's what I was thinking too, is having some like, yeah, some wicked, like, sharp and curvy crescent moon type of peaks
Mhm, mhm,
um
mhm, mhm.
in the background, and that'll be pretty much the drawing. And then I'll get paid for my first set of 6, and then I've got another 8 to do after this.
You know what I would do also? I think the spiky, distant mountains is a good idea. But on the left-hand side in the distance, I would have uh, well, if it's going to be a distant perspective, but a giant demon walking along the plains. I would put that
I
in
was
there.
gonna
That's a good
suggest a
idea.
dragon flying, but that works too.
Well, it's going to be kind of small. I mean,
Yeah.
overall,
Yeah, no.
let's
I mean,
see.
in the back on the left-hand side, it's at a distance, but make it
Yeah.
it's a giant one, right?
Yeah. So I have to
A
think I'm
silhouette.
doing probably a 75% reduction. That's
Maybe
why those black lines will look awful once
Yeah,
it's
no, you're right.
actually.
You're right. You're right. At that, you're
But, the,
thinking perspective on the page. Yeah, that's a good point.
but yeah, because like on the left hand side, I'm going to trim some of that rock down and make that more of a slope. But I can do that right now. But I just move some of this out of here,
yeah.
right there.
Well, If you, yeah, I mean, to help with like
And then
perspective, just to show how big it is, you could have it like leaning on one of the mountain peaks. You know, just
yeah,
yeah.
walking or leaning or something. Yeah, it's just strutting, maybe coming towards the pile of grubs.
Yeah, I just think it would add a
Or
cool
picking one up to eat it.
perspective. I couldn't do
Yeah,
it, but I know you can. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
but it's great
Hi,
getting
Melissa.
feedback. That's why I throw these things out there sometimes to get other people's feedback. Because most people just say, "Oh, that's cool." They don't really say, you need to fix this, or "Hey, check." Wouldn't you know what I would do? Those kinds of things are helpful too. It's nice to get praise, but really, it's better to get criticism and critiques
Mhm.
for
Hmm.
me.
In
But
my defense,
I
I'm
already
kind of
know I'm sexy. What?
stupid. Never mind.
Never mind.
Well,
Okay.
in that
Well, here.
case, then I would also take one of these heads and have it biting into the body of another one.
I thought
That's
about
very
that on
Dante's
these two.
Inferno
Where
of you.
there's this where this woman's screaming and having this guy have his chewing on her.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
I think you should. I think that would be a cool little thing because that's very much hell. I mean, these things. That's something that's been pressed for us from the beginning. Is that it's a
Yeah.
ridiculous level of competition for survival, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
I can move
Get
him into here.
And it looks
We'll
like
see how much
Hillary,
time I
so
have.
chewing on Hillary's brain is a good idea.
Is that
yeah,
Hillary?
or the
He'll
one,
starve to death.
It's
or
Hillary.
the guy behind, her, like just do like maybe make him look fatter and have like so like his sin is gluttony, right? And have him have like the stuff dripping down his face, and you have like a little bit of an open spot.
Well,
So
he's kind of the monk. I kind of tried to give him a monk hairdo.
Oh, right,
yeah.
right, right, right. Yeah, but
Yeah,
no, I definitely think,
I need to flange that out a little.
and doing it in the head is fine, but maybe just simply the body of one of them. But yeah, I think that would be a nice touch. Those two things, and because those two things with the the giant demon in the distance, and them chewing on each other, it really puts the dread of hell in there.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah,
Give it a little bit more of a bowl cut here. See if
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
All
let's
right.
Yep.
go. Let's go ahead and get into it. You
Thanks,
guys ready?
everybody.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
ready.
Alrighty. So let me go ahead and bring this up. Alrighty then, so that they can see it. I don't know that it matters. Who cares about the players? But you know,
Nobody.
nobody. Anyway, here we are. Now, of course, where we left off Iron Pass, we are sitting here. You see, way on the north there. We're in a kind of a wooded area, slightly removed from town, not so much, but we have Wigwam's Magical Arts, and that's many buildings make up that place, right? There's some houses, and yeah, where Julia, I think, lives in one of those, and Wigwam himself. You got the main building, etc. Whatever. We're up north, and they have returned. You see, because they had gone over into the forest here, and of course the mountain in the distance. Which I probably should put one in here, shouldn't I?
Hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, there is of course, the primordial that is the center of all this shenanigans. But this tribe wasn't particularly close to it. But these were, what did I call them? The midnight. What did I
Oh,
call
I'm
them?
trying to remember. It had like something about how they like gouged out the eyes of their enemies or something.
Oh,
Xyz
right,
Midnight Raiders.
night ravens. Yeah, midnight ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, or crows, midnight crows. But
Midnight Crows. Yeah.
they went over there and to fight Darid. Darid got away, of course, although it was close. It was close.
Hmm,
That would have
Mm,
certainly
that's
changed the
sad.
plot a little bit right there. But Darid did get
mhm.
away, and but of course they were able to kill a demon, push the elves back, who aren't much of a threat to them now. They kind of really destroyed their town center there. Fireballs will do that. Um,
Hmm.
but they were able to collect not only a living devil. Well, actually, It's one of those tiefling created bag demon type of devils, not a real one. And they got a whole bunch of correspondence, and they
Mhm.
also picked themselves up a ring. Now, of course, they've gone back. Like I said, they're over here to wigwams, and it's been 3 days. So during that time, they've been going through all these correspondence. Mainly, they've been checking the ring, and of course, making. We'll see what kind of decision they make with the captured Nightmare Born, which is what I'm calling them. And also find what else everyone might have been doing in that time.
Right.
However, what was I looking for here? Oh yeah, but you are over there working on these correspondence. Your brother, your stepbrother, but you don't really have that kind of fame. Your brother, Vintian, he actually showed up and a couple of times in there and helping you out with the various letters because it's kind of a hobby language. Old languages are kind of a hobby of Vintians. And
Hey.
he's been trying to help you because all of these letters are written in in infernal,
Hmm.
all of them. And that is now he doesn't really speak it directly, but he does have books and he is helping. I don't know if you how much help he really is, but whatever. You guys are kind of getting at it and trying to translate these correspondence, yada yada yada. So over the past 3 days, who's been doing what? I mean, we do have things that need doing, right? You have to make a decision on the Nightmare Born. You have to make a decision. We have to do something in regards to figuring out what the ring is, and of course, you have all of these correspondence, and there are dozens of them. So,
Mhm.
and it's all written in Infernal, which is devil speak, for those who don't know.
Mm. Well,
I have a
Well,
skill that would help me with the language.
I think many of you do.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can read it.
of course you can.
automatically.
um. Also, we had stopped last week's episode while we were at the place, and we did want to check if those vampires were still there,
Oh
and
yeah,
also,
you guys did you had mentioned that. You guys did go down and take a look, and you didn't. Well, first of all, there was you did find an underground entrance somewhat nearby, but it was
Mhm.
just simply the underground road entrance. It wasn't. You don't find any caverns or you don't find anything that is vampire related here.
Mm.
Okay,
Remember the
and
vampires you found in the dwarven mine, right?
Was
Yeah.
no, no,
there
no, no,
anything?
no. When we scouted this place last time, I had set my closet in, and it had went into an underground location, and it had found a bunch of vampires down there because she had been doing the same thing there that she had done in
Oh,
the.
okay. Well, they've been moved.
Okay, fair enough. And one other thing we wanted to do while we were out there is any survivors that we can get our hands on. Uh, you know, basically
Mm.
bringing them through the portal to see if it removes the curse on them. In my
Bringing them
because I had
through
my
the
hallow,
portal.
the
Oh,
hallow
into
spell.
Do
the
Remember
prison.
do the
the
hollow
hallow?
spell in the
Yeah,
prison.
that was
Yeah,
in
but
the prison.
that's over at the prison. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
We
but there
want
was a the portal left the prison because we were gonna grab Darrid.
Oh,
Remember
right, right.
before the
No, I
fight?
know what you mean.
Mhm.
And you grab
Yeah.
a couple of them to try that on, but it's you have to go over to the prison though. You just jumping through the mansion teleportation gate isn't going to do shit, right? You got to take them to where the hallowed spell was cast, specifically, right?
Yeah. No,
You
I
understand?
know.
Okay. All
We had
right.
it
So
set up.
you do that, but now you
Yeah.
just have a couple of rabid green cannibalistic green elves in prison. It doesn't do nothing.
Okay, that's what I was wondering if it had any effect.
No, no,
That's
it's a
Oh.
good thing to check, but it doesn't do anything. Now, of course, you also have that Nightmare Born, which you know that'll work. So
yeah.
you have
Right.
to decide how you want to go about that. But also, whilst you
Mhm.
guys are sitting here, and doing that. The final touches from Wigwam and Jason, who's been helping, have been put on your little, your HQ, your meeting room. So here you go.
Aw,
Oh, that's
Cute.
cool.
ooh,
Yeah,
that looks awesome.
yeah,
That's too dang fancy.
It's perfect for me.
it is
I love
perfect.
it.
It's nice.
I had to search really hard to find this one because
It
so
is a
many
cool
of them are
picture.
2 grand. They're 2 grand.
Mhm.
When
Yeah,
artists
Mhm.
draw, they draw 2 grand. This one
Oh
was
yeah,
much more pulled back, which is more appropriate for Wigwam.
much
I
too
can
grand.
just see Honey sitting on the little like ring going around the globe and just going wee in
Yeah,
different
that
places.
is true. That's true. That is true. But and the globe is rather indistinct, so it's not necessarily Earth, which of course is important because a lot of times when you find maps and globes, it's always Earth, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
rarely are we on Earth
Right.
in fantasy or role playing games in general, right? But yeah, no,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice. So here's our here's the Iron Company's meeting room or HQ,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
this is where they were getting their stuff done, and it's good. Just watch out for the spindle. All of those who are beautiful and or princesses.
I'll keep
Very
an
nice.
eye out.
Yeah, just keep
It
an
is
eye
a
Not
out.
a
random
princess, so I
spindle,
don't have to do anything.
random spindle in the room, just sitting out there, just in case.
Yeah, you
I
gotta be
see
you gotta
about
be
Oh, that's
careful.
a
Yeah.
I do see about
maybe
25 fire violations
Oh yeah,
in
no,
Yeah,
this room.
definitely. Yeah.
the
maybe
fantasy
Honey
Oh,
setting.
Good deal.
that'd be cute. Have take the ship out and it enlarge and it flies itself.
Oh, those things exist. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
And of course, you have the ye old classic folding boat.
Mhm.
That one's from what? That's definitely first edition, Bill.
Yeah, yeah, that's an old one. The
Or the
canoe.
tower
It's in
cube,
your pocket.
right?
Hmm.
I love the tower cube.
I mean, yeah,
That's
just
one
don't be
thing
anywhere in the vicinity of it when it goes off. But yeah,
I've never been in a game where I've used that or seen it used. I've
oh, I
read
have,
it over
I
and
have,
over.
yeah. And just so you guys know, I think it's called Dantier's Iron Fortress or something like that. Is what it's actually called.
Instant Fortress,
No, no, no,
and
no, no. There's a name for
oh
it. This is a magic item. Um,
no, I know it's something. It's like yeah, Dantiers or Darren's Instant
Darren,
Fortress.
Darren, Instant Fortress,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's basically a Rubik's Cube size block you keep in your pocket, and you throw it out, and boom, tower.
we were literally talking about that before the game
Oh,
We
really?
were.
as like a potential item that we might want if we're going to storm this hotel. If we would just want to bring it down, that that would be
That would be
perfect
It's
for
you, and
probably
it
that.
is very
magically.
useful. I've used it, and it does have adamantine walls, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ooh.
not only that, but it's immune to non-magical damage.
it is.
So
What were you trying to say,
yeah.
lady?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay.
She just said, "Ooh."
Ooh.
Ooh.
Anyway, so we are doing stuff. So might as well start with the item things and get into the correspondence last. So we do have a Nightmare Born, which Tower's character was wise enough to stabilize. Now
Right.
you can tell from because the thing it differentiates them from a normal demon, and of course a tiefling, is all of
Mhm.
the runic magical script across their skin, right?
Right.
This is, they're easy to identify, these Nightmare Born. They're whatever spell is being used, but keep in mind the Tiefling curse did come from Nessus and specifically from Malatrix herself, right? So anyway, so we know they're using some version of it, but it's easier to get rid of. So you guys know you could put her in the prison room, and she
Mhm.
will revert back. I think this was no, if it was a girl or a boy. I
I
think it
think
was
it
a
I think
was
it
a
was a
girl.
girl.
I
girl.
think it was a
They
girl.
were all girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she'll revert. But you do have her in custody as Nightmare Born, and of course as whoever she originally was. So let's start with that. What do you want to do?
I mean, I of course I'm going to think it's good to try and heal and help everyone.
No, sure, sure. But I mean, obviously, putting her in the room is going to be the end goal. But do we
Yeah.
want to negotiate? Do we want to interrogate her before and during or whatever?
I I look over at Lady's character and I'm like, you do the whole brain thing.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. She does have the brain thingy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we should
I'll let
probably do
them know.
that and then put
I'll
her in the cage.
let them know which one it can help the most. What most information is before or after.
Well, you can
No,
do both. There's no reason you
Okay.
can't. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know
that's
why
true.
there's no hesitation necessary. I'll just use this one here. We've already seen this one, but well, I'll just use this one here
That's fine.
for referencing. You kind of she's being held, of course, and you guys can secure her quite easily. And you run into this from time to time. Of course, you're new to the party, but her mind is a jumble of chaotic imagery. You do think that she is probably Gordati, though. And the
Really.
reason, not the imagery in her brain is too chaotic to see. It's overbearing, and there is this constant thrumming voice in her head of control, obey, type of sounds, and they're all you can because this is all happening psionically. Language doesn't matter, but
Right.
you don't speak it. Well, maybe you do, but it is infernal that is being spoken. You whether
Mhm.
you if you speak it, you know exactly what's being said. But because it's telepathic, you understand the meaning though. And it is
Okay.
this constant thrum of these controlling words over the consciousness that is in front of you. And all of the other things are very, very jumbled. But the one thing you get very eclipsed, other than her face itself, but the imagery you're getting that pop up here or there, she is Gordati, and she's from the Eastern lands. And because the Gordati kingdom, well, you know, they don't know, is very large. When eventually the Iron Pass really does run into the borders of the Gordati, they're going to find that there is a land, an empire, uh, almost as big as the Altarian one. It's smaller, but it's not so much so. And many peoples fall within the Gordati lands. They are not all part of the big air quotes Gordati, the necromancers. But she's definitely from the Eastern peoples, and these peoples are, they're Asians, Orientals,
Mhm.
right? But she specifically, because it's still part of her being, she is part of a kind of feline race, a tabaxi type of Oriental.
All right.
So this is information only you in this room have. Now, well, no, I would say Jason probably knows that too. But most of the Empire, the Altarian Empire, doesn't really know a lot about the Gordati. At higher ends, they probably do. But nevertheless, you know this. So there's not much you can get out of it. This is an interesting experience. You've seen, uh, your ability to, read minds has been blocked in various ways throughout your life. But this
Right.
one is different. And it's not
I
that you
could.
can't read it, it's just way too chaotic to read it.
Mm.
Okay. Um, I call them deaf speakers. I don't say Gurdati,
Of course you don't, yeah.
of course.
Although you did hear, now that's something you're trained to do. Even
Right.
within within the empire, I should come up with a name for the overall empire. I haven't done that yet. But
Mhm.
even you guys are not really you don't necessarily understand why. But it is just kind of a standard cultural rule. However, you did hear Fedskit speaking to this group, and he was using he never said desk speaker. He just said Gordati, and they all seemed to know. But whatever. That is a
It's her
natural
uncle, right?
reaction.
Or whoever he is.
Well, your boss,
Yeah, my
Baron
boss.
Fedskid.
Baron, yeah.
But that's okay because for your character to do that naturally as well. Natural. So
Okay. Ouch.
anyway,
I couldn't
so
tell if
yeah.
she was a necromancer, though, could I?
Well, you would imagine she's not. There's been a few from some of the other peoples of the Empire. We'll just call it the Empire. How about that?
Okay.
And that do join the ranks of the psionicist much more prevalently than the necromancers. Matter of fact, seeing as your character is a female psionicist, you might be one of the other peoples, right?
Okay.
Not necessarily
Yeah.
Gordati born. You could be that
Hmm.
if you choose. You're part of the empire, of course, and all citizenry are citizenry, and the empire doesn't, oppress one group or another. It doesn't need to. The system
Okay.
works really good, actually. So there is no slavery or those kind of things just don't exist because when you die, you're kind of a slave anyway, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, there are other peoples, but you just from her, because you are pulling images of her playing with family, with friends, or being with family, or in a classroom or whatever. There are images. They're just not connected, right?
But they do seem to be all hers.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
Okay.
It seems that she is talking and playing with people. We can say there's even one with her in front of a mirror, making sure the tufts on her feline ears are just right. Maybe she's going on a date.
Okay. Tell him that
You know how
she's from the
girls are.
Far East.
Yeah,
Yeah, girls.
girls.
Um, that apparently she's been a servant for a long time. There's a lot of missing elements in the brain that I can't figure out.
Okay. So that's with her bound. And of course, you guys know if you drop her in that cell, it's going to work. You know this. It's already been proven. So what do you want to do now?
Um, she's healed
Awesome.
up by now. Like she's stable.
Oh yeah, it's stable enough. I mean, you guys have this is kind of day one. You guys stay around there for a couple of hours, searching around and doing a few hours, and then of course Jason brings you back.
Right.
But yeah, no, of course, Wigwam and Julia, well, probably Julia. Julia has
Hmm.
attended to her. Julia is in better spirits of late, by the way. But
But
of course, Julia is the potion craft teacher at Wigwams anyway, right? So she's
Hmm.
kind of the late, she's Snape, the female version, but
not as creepy.
no, and much nicer. Yeah, but do keep in mind he is the hero of that story, those stories. He is
Snape had the most sensitive heart out of every.
he did, and
Yes.
he was the binding aspect. You know how interesting it is that how unimportant the kids were,
Hmm.
except
Mm-hmm.
for
Harry was
Neville.
pretty.
Neville was important.
Oh.
What
Oh
was it?
yeah.
Yeah. But no, because and that's why that was so popular because the surrounding cast was just so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness
The
gracious.
actors they got for them
Um,
too.
what?
The actors they got for him too. I mean,
Well, they were
Snape's
that
character
real
especially.
fest.
Like,
Oh,
oh
he's
no.
amazing in everything he does, Amy. Go search him out. Of course, most people know him from Die Hard, but whatever. Um,
Right.
right?
Not
He was so epic in it, dude. But that guy's amazing in everything he does. Anyway, back on track. So do we want to put her in the cell?
I
I
mean,
mean,
of
she should.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she should be strong enough to. If the transformation's a little hard on her, she should still be safe.
And you have people there to assist with
That
that
is true.
if you don't. So you guys put her in the cell, and of course, same thing happens before. It is traumatic and painful for them to
Mhm.
have this infernal touch removed from them. But same as before, the horns recede, the eyes go back to normal, and all the tattoos vanish. Although, just as with the other girl, there clearly scars have been added,
Hmm.
and the scars don't go away because even though they're possessed, they're I calling them nightmare born, right? From the
Hmm.
night hags. But they clearly, even though possessed, have been horribly abused. But well, we are dealing with devils, so you know,
Right.
and they are into that kind of S&M. They call it something different these days. What do they call it these days?
Well,
No idea.
I'm not
BDSM?
trying to
Oh, that one.
go
Yeah,
old.
that's the one. That's the one. I don't know why they changed it. Wasn't S&M enough?
I think they're close, but I think there's different kind of.
No, they're all the same.
Oh no.
Sadomasochism. Sadism and masochism. It's enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, devils, devils.
Terrible.
Horrible, yeah. But they are evil with a purpose, whereas demons are evil with no purpose.
Yes.
Nevertheless, so you see this girl return, and you can see it right here in the picture. But
Hmm.
she is a tabaxi, of Oriental flavor, but still a tabaxi.
Yeah.
And these they're a little bit shorter than humans on average. She's probably about 5 foot. And but their bodies are very human. They do have cat ears. They have cat tails, and they also have the kind of dog leg or animal leg on the bottom, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not a human leg. Their arms are very human though, and they tend not to carry a lot of body fur actually. Off of their haunches. Their haunches tend to have fur on it. And maybe they have tufts of fur on the back of their neck or back of their arms or their lower back or something like that. But the fur covering is far, far less than that of a normal cat, right?
Hmm.
But so you have this girl back in front of you, and of course she passes out as the other girl did. And of course she'll wake, and Julia's helping take care of her, of course. But
Hmm.
of course now, Lady's character can get in there and gain information. So, Lady, you're kind of looking at this unconscious girl's mind as everything glues itself back together with the influence being removed. Her name is, we'll just say, I don't know, what's the most generic name? Shen. Okay. Shen here,
Right.
um,
I
uh, grew up in the way, way east. She's actually in the northeast on the ocean side, right? Well, not ocean. There's a gigantic lake. She's on lakeside, and which is kind of the far extremity of the realm, by the way, and of your empire. And she's a normal Tabaxi girl. She actually belongs to a town that is rather multicultural. There's all kind of different people around there, and but she is a Tabaxi girl, and she was living a very, very normal life. And of course, you don't care about all this. You're washing past all of this to find out the point where she was taken, and she was actually uh, has been enslaved as a nightmare born for 7 years.
Hmm. Hmm.
There was a raid which she doesn't know anything about because remember, as soon as they get possessed, their memories stop, right?
Yeah.
Um, but there was a raid that came in her town. She thinks they're called orcs. It's some Western fairy tale creature, right?
Hmm.
But she thinks she remembers seeing a book and they were called orcs. This is her memory as it's happening. And
Hmm.
they raised her little teeny town, and there were many people being killed and captured. She got whacked on the head. She woke up in a bag, and then she was, unceremoniously dumped out on the ground, beaten horribly by sticks and whips and stuff for she doesn't even know how many days, given hardly any food. The food was disgusting, but the hunger pangs drove her to eat it. And then eventually a night hag, not one that you recognize though, right?
Hmm.
And of course
Yeah.
you just fought Darred. So you've seen her face, but it is a night hag. You know what they are. Comes up to her and basically sticks her tongue down her throat while chanting, which is a very creepy thing from the point of view of the girl. And then her memories stop.
So enchants her then, or whatever you call it.
Possessed or
Possess.
created. Yeah.
I'll give him all that information.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Because
you
she
know
doesn't
it's
know where
7
the orcs came from, right?
She didn't even really know what an orc was. She
Okay.
assumes it was an orc, and you've seen her vision, and it is an orc. Because in your part in the eastern part of this continent, which
Mm-hmm.
goes much further to the east, by the way, beyond the Great Lake, but you guys don't know much about that land. But in this area of the continent where she's at, there really aren't any orcs. Orcs don't exist. You know of the orcs because as far as the orcs spread, they're on the Turish Plains, which is beyond the Iron Mountain, right? There's not a
Yeah.
lot of orcs over here. It's not an orc place. You do know of them because they show up in the big cities, and you certainly
So
saw
what
some
will you
in Cragmora. But it's not. They're not a natural part of the empire. Is my point.
Okay. Let him know all that part, and then why I'm there. No,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
no, 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 no.
lady.
That's wrong. I'm trying to remember what else I was going to find out about her.
Okay.
So she doesn't know any of her family. Oh, the hag.
Mhm.
I didn't identify her, but do I know what race? All hags the same race?
Yeah, night hag's a night hag. Yeah.
Okay,
Same
never mind
species.
then. I thought
They're
it might be
they're
different species.
technically not really hags. They're thrown into the category because they look like hags and we call them hags. But over time, over the history of D&D, the night hag is not really a hag anymore, right? Because
Mhm.
the average
Okay,
hag, all the other hags, are fae. They're from the dreaming, the Feywilds, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the night hags are actual devils,
Mm.
right? They're
Okay.
they're not they're not the same thing. But whatever. The reason you know the date is because the day the raid happened was a harvest fest within the an imperial harvest fest.
Okay, so we even
And
have a proper date. Okay.
right, so and you know the date in her head, so you know it was 7 years ago. That's how you know from her memory. But yep, okay. So there's an unconscious girl. She will wake up. She'll be as traumatized as the other girl because they're just people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
I'm gonna sit with her and try to offer some comfort and prayer.
That's nice. You don't speak the same language, but that's cool.
I'm letting
Yeah.
everybody else know that she was taken 7 years ago. This was her name. Where she's from. The entire trauma of the village. So the village was probably wiped out. Though I don't know why the person in charge of the area didn't cover that up.
It is
Perhaps I.
really, really on the
Okay,
outskirts of
so
the
there's really
empire. It's
no
pretty far.
underlord over it area
Well, there
then.
probably is, and it probably was reported, but why would you know? I mean, the
Yeah. Well,
bureaucracy
would
in the
she
empire
know?
is
Yeah.
huge, right? It's enormous.
Hmm.
You work for
Right.
FedSkid, and
Okay.
his stuff is he works on very specific things. It's that's the thing about bureaucracy. It's enormous, right? And one side of it isn't speaking to the other side, and everything in between is the same. That's why they don't work.
Was there anything else that the Baron would want to know?
No, there's nothing
Wow.
here. No, I gave
Okay,
you what
so
you
Yeah.
needed to know.
I give him the
It's just another
information.
victim.
Hmm.
I give him the information, or all the information that they required
All right.
of the second part.
Now, you are here and you're kind of doing you because you are an investigator for Baron
Right.
Fedskid is what you are. A psionic investigator, and you've been that way for quite a while. This whole Cragmora thing and the Iron Pass, of course, you know about these places, but that's kind of new for you. Most of the stuff you do is in imperial cities, right? A proper investigation. Fake
Right.
Skit has a reputation for being a bit harsh and taking things to a darker place than maybe necessary. But
Yeah, well, he is evil, so yeah.
well, in a way, yeah. But he's also highly respected. So getting that post was a big deal for you, and it was a pay raise too.
Uh,
So that's always nice. Promotion. But most of your experience is in the imperial cities, doing more practical government work, right? Um, but
Okay.
um, but yeah, now you do, but being yourself and doing what you do, and seeing the fact that these Westerners that you've run into here and dealing with recently, they don't seem to know anything at all about psionics. They seem ignorant to it. Uh,
Oh, the little guy was talking about mind thing.
No, they
Or
they they it's
was he
magic
cheating?
related. There's really I'm sure there are psionicists in the Empire, Altarian Empire, but it's not a thing, and there's a lot of people don't even know about it, right?
Then keep them ignorantly blissed.
Oh sure, but you found it very very easy to just pick up trace thoughts here or there from them.
Okay.
You're not going to be invasive or rude. You're working for the Baron and you're a professional. But you pick
Right.
up things here or there. They don't seem to have any warding or charms, or they don't have anything to. Most people's, in your experience, have some manner of protection from psionics, but not these people. Anyway, so you're
We
you
may run into somebody that is higher than her, though, right?
Yeah, but that's not the point. We're talking about the Altarians here, which is everybody in the room but you and Tower's character. Okay,
Hmm.
All
that's
right.
who we're talking about. And they don't know anything about it. Is my point. They're ignorant to psionics. Is the whole point, lady. But
Yep.
and therefore they don't guard themselves. They don't gird themselves. Let me use that word better. And but you picked up things here or there, and one of the things you've picked up is several of the encounters, particularly when they were fighting the Nightmare Born here just a day ago.
Yeah.
Of course, all their memories go back to their other fights with Nightmare Born naturally, right? And so you got a lot of imagery, and you've noticed that at least half of the Nightmare Born that they have been interacting with and fighting are from the Empire. They're not Westerners. They are members of they are peoples of the empire.
Hmm.
There is one particularly you are a bit shocked, who is a partner of this one, which you can't see it from her because she has no memories of being Nightmare Born, but you see it from
Hmm.
them where they encountered them before, and I'll even bring it up here. This middle one, because there were three of them they ran into. And we'll just say it's this one. There's no reason it can't be. Of course, is an elf, but that's pretty standard elf. But even though it is more oriental, but this one in the middle here is shocking to you because you don't need to get into the mind of that. You know what that is. That is one of the river folk, the spirit folk of the eastern riverlands, and they are pretty strong magically, and they're very endangered, therefore protected by the Empire.
Uh
You're not
huh.
supposed to bring any harm to them whatsoever because they're a very rare species. And that is shocking for you to see one of them here. That's like not only is it a violation of law, which is something important to you, but the fact that they could even get one, that is odd because that is a spirit folk of the Riverlands without question. You could tell by the ears and the complexion
Okay.
and stuff like
So
that.
I will not let the group know, but
No.
the Baron. Baron, I
Well,
will
he's
let
not
know.
here, but of course you have a way of
Okay.
communicating with him, so you can inform him
Yeah.
of that.
When I get a break from them, I'll inform him of that.
And Baron's response would be something like "Evil knows no bounds," or something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
but
No doubt.
anyway. So that's done, and you guys consoling her. But we have two other things. There's a ring. Now that one's pretty easy. We could have Honey do it if she'd like, or we could just have Wigwam do it.
Wigwam.
Well, it's up to you. Honey is all about magical items, you know.
Let her do it. Let her do her thing.
Sure. Let her
Honey, are
do
you
it then.
here?
I am.
Oh, you are. I can barely hear you.
That's odd. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Just
How's
speak
that?
up.
Is that better?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think you just weren't facing the mic. But now you are. So anyway, you're looking over this ring, which is where you can help the most in this investigation anyway. And
Right.
you're going over it. It's certainly magical. And yada yada yada. But just give me a roll, one of your arcane crafting rolls.
Okay. Yes. And +7, I recall.
Well, I'm sure your proficiency is higher than 2.
You think so?
I would think right
It,
now it's probably
it would
4.
be a yeah
Right.
4.
4. So do I
So 9.
reroll? Do I roll again, or do I just add? Do we just add
Just add
another
2.
4?
Yeah.
Add 2. Add 2.
Okay. So that a 2. Okay. So that'd be 15.
Okay, 15. Um, the magic involved with this isn't very sophisticated, so you definitely made your roll. But it is a magic item.
Mhm.
It is fairly precious, the metals that are used. Well, most magic items have to be, right? But
Mm.
what this is very, very similar. It is akin to your crystal ball in a very miniaturized version. So it's a crystal ring ball.
Interesting.
But it
Interesting.
seems to be very locked in. Now, you think there's a spell on it that is locking it in, but meaning it only goes one direction and another. I mean, it's only one, where the crystal ball you can move around, communicate. There's all kind of things you could do with it. This thing is only going to a single place.
Hmm.
And you're having a real hard time tracking it. Now, of all your spells and things that you have, honey, do you have anything that is dimensional?
Mhm.
Let's see. I guess there's. Do you mean like traveling wise, like vortex warp or blink?
Or
It,
blink?
it just needs to fall under dimensional magic.
Oh, that's a type? Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Dimensional magic.
Any
Um,
of your higher level spells
Probably
that
going to be
like
much higher level spell. Yeah, yeah.
fourth
Probably.
or what about like you should have fifth level spells now. What fifth level spells are?
Okay.
let's have a look.
Fifth level architecture.
And what's the phrase?
Dimensional.
Dimensional.
Dimension. Okay. Fifth level. Let's see. Dimensional. Transmutation, illusion, abjuration, application, divination.
Well, she has blink, so she's popped into the ethereal realm with that.
That's right.
Oh,
She
that's
does have
true.
blink. Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
you do have access to that. All right. So it is dimensional. Unfortunately, your ability to trace it, you're just not high enough level. And
Okay.
bless his heart, of course. But Wigwam isn't either.
Hmm.
Because honestly, you're kind of around Wigwam's level now, right?
Well,
You would probably have to take it to the Magus over at the tower, the Magi Tower.
okay.
But you do know what it is. It is a crystal ball of sorts in a ring shape. It's got like a big old ruby sitting on top of it, right? It's a communication device, and it's going to some dimensional location. You can't track it, and you're not sure
Okay.
if you should activate it. Of course, you could. But it's up to you.
Yeah. No, I definitely don't want it to,
Activate
especially
it.
like an infernal energy from it. I definitely wouldn't want to. Should I
Well, you're
maybe
not
take it
getting
down to
infernal energy. You're getting dimensional energy. It's not infernal.
dimensional energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, considering the
So,
type of people who have, the owners of this thing, and it's
Yeah,
a
we can assume.
communication device.
Yeah, you
Yes.
touch it and there's just a big flaming eye.
Yes. Sauron.
And
yeah,
then
you don't
she
mess with it.
vanishes.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, we
But
lose more paladins.
I don't want to get caught up in it, but those idiots that are doing Rings of Power, they really didn't read those books.
Mm.
They
Don't
never
Anyway,
start
do,
talking about
Okay.
blasphemy.
it is blasphemy, dude. But anyway, so we'll put that aside, or
Okay.
you can take a walk over to the Magi Tower if you'd like. But let's dig in the correspondence. Well, I guess I should finish it. So, are you going to take it over to the Magi Tower or not? The Arcanum?
I was thinking. I was thinking I would. Lissay would probably be one who wants to get an answer whenever she can, unless there's any urgent. Unless this would be a waste of anyone else's
I
time.
don't think so. Your character can go do it. You're not going to be very helpful in translation. It's not
That's
your
true.
thing. But you can go
Well,
over
this
to the
would be like the
Magdi.
most useless thing I could do.
Yeah, you just travel down to the Magi Sanctum. It's in town. It's not that far.
Mhm.
And you, of course, are more than welcome there. You are a hero of Iron Pass, after all. And of course, you've probably met and spoken to Magus Lithian Xerix before anyway.
He's very
And
lucky.
he's a nice fellow. You probably think that he seems to want to get into political conversations more than you're interested, but he is a nice fellow, and of course he is the most knowledgeable magical person you know. You haven't been
Yep.
many places, but for you, right? And of course he's happy to look at it, and you spend things, and of course tea and scones definitely come out. Um,
Yay!
and you have and he often talks a lot about everything other than what you were there to talk about, but that's his nature.
Right.
He likes chatting.
He's a nice fellow.
He's an old dude that likes chatting, especially with the younger peoples. See
They
what
seem
they're up
very
to. What are the youngins doing these days, right? But eventually you do get your answer, and it actually comes from a scribe who he hands the ring to. But they do various. They have a lot of really cool equipment here, by the way, honey. Um,
I'm having a
Ooh.
very looking at this.
yeah. You might even want to see if you couldn't gain entrance into the sanctum. It'd probably be a smart move for your character. But and that aside, because that is empire wide, right? Where
Mm.
Wigwams is a little magical academy way out in the frontier. Just saying, right? Anyway, it is connected. Not only is it infernal, it is connected directly to the ninth layer of hell, which is called Nessus. And of course, you know this because you've been dealing with
Oh,
Nessians. So yes, this ring is locked in, and matter of fact, they said that they probably have to break it and remake it to make it so it would be function like a normal crystal ball. It is pretty locked in, but yes, it's a one-to-one communication with Nessus, and then he's curious of why would you have such an abominable thing.
You
oh,
found it.
big
Found it
fun.
at a yard sale.
Oh no, they knew we went off and we fought
Yeah, he
Darren.
kind of knows, and
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
politically connected, but he's not in the loop,
Oh,
right?
Mm.
He's not because the Baron is keeping this pretty tight-lipped for now. He's only involving those who need to be involved. So they've been given some information. Of course, he does know what you've been dealing with to a point, but it is very concerning, very concerning, very concerning, and this all comes across in a very Dumbledore way. Because that's who he
right.
is. He's Dumbledore. He's Merlin. He's Gandalf. That's what he is, right?
Mm,
Um,
mhm.
he's very concerned, very concerned, very concerned. Concerning times.
Yes.
And of course, in the conversation, you find out why he is on the front in the little frontier town of Iron Pass,
Mhm.
because he thinks it's important to share the wisdom of magic with the world, and he wanted to take the frontier by the horns.
Oh, bless him.
Okay. Anyway,
Oh,
Very
Thank
nice.
you,
very
Lizzie.
nice. So that
I bet
conversation
you could
goes
tell him
on.
some fun stories.
Hmm?
I bet she could tell him some fun stories about her adventures.
And she can if she wants. It depends
Oh,
how open do you want to be with him about the things you've experienced,
Oh, sorry, it wasn't. I'm not here. I shouldn't be making comments anyway.
honey.
oh, so how open would I be to Vegas, Lizzie, and Derek?
Yeah, Lithian
What?
Xerix. Yeah,
Oh,
he's a sweet old man, but but in the back of your head because you're not character's not stupid at all.
no.
You are an engineer. You're intelligent. But he is a sweet old man, but he is a political animal.
Right.
Well,
They are
there
all
was
of the magi of the sanctum. It is a because keep in mind in this empire, they are what is in place of the priesthoods, the Catholic priests of Europe, right? They hold that position in society. So there's a lot of politics.
Mm,
Not all priests are involved, right? But they're all tangentially involved, right? So, but anyway,
right.
so how much do we tell them?
Let's
well,
see.
I'm there.
Okay.
What? Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. I feel like Lissay is definitely knows that she's sort of getting involved in pretty deep political intrigues.
And you're probably more interested in the inventions,
Um,
like
and of
maybe.
course, she wouldn't want to be too careful, especially with her information about the technology that she found in the as it would be controlling the environmental system in the Death Eaters
Oh,
world.
that's true.
That
Yeah,
would be very. That would be like not at least
yeah.
not until her the attempted coup is
Yeah, no,
history. Maybe
obviously the
then.
things that shouldn't be told, I know in my head. So
Right.
let's just do it really simple. 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. Choose.
Okay. Okay. I'd say maybe 20. The safe stuff to talk about 25%.
Okay, no problem. And of course, he's happy to hear it, and he does love him some gossip, and you have a nice little conversation. And the scones are quite good. And they were brought by
Very.
a little fat middle-aged human lady because you're a half elf, you know. But she's plump and jolly, and she's very, very
Oh,
pleased. She sits kind of, and she doesn't leave the room. She kind of just hangs around in the corner a little bit, seeing how you enjoy her scones.
oh.
Okay.
I would do the same thing.
Yes. But anyway, you have a very pleasant, happy time, and you, of course, learn what you really already knew. Now, let's dig into the meat of it, the correspondence. Now, first of all, who here can read and write or, read or understand infernal, which is the
Ooh,
devil
ooh,
language?
ooh, me! Pick
We
me!
know you can. Anybody else can do
For
it
some reason.
naturally for some reason. Can anyone else do it
I mean,
naturally?
It's
not
it's not
natural. Wait a minute. I can understand every
not
language. I
naturally.
can't speak
Yeah,
it because
that's
it's a
true.
sword.
So you should be involved in this, Puffin. Yeah, absolutely
Hmm.
Puffin because he has that ability. Anybody else can do it naturally?
Not
I can.
naturally. I'd have to use one of my skills to do it,
Okay, well, but
but
you
it
can
lasts
do it.
all day.
But you okay? Well,
Yeah.
there you go. You should be involved. And I know some of you have spells that will allow you to get involved with this as well. But I have
Mm.
three already, and that's pretty good. Honey's doing her thing. So that leaves now Amy.
Hmm?
Are you capable of doing any kind of infernal translations?
Do I have any language skills?
You would certainly have language skills, and even though you're a paladin of light,
Mhm.
knowing your enemy is, of course, a very old strategy. So a paladin actually speaking the language of their enemy is not unheard of.
Well, that's true.
Well, what languages do you have down? Because you should
Um,
have Common, Elven, and one or two others. I'm not sure exactly which ones.
right. Uh, if it's two others, I think one was celestial.
Makes
Which
sense.
makes
Um,
sense.
but what was the? See, I don't. I look at lists of these things, and I really don't know what they are, so it's kind of hard to know what to pick.
Yeah, no,
But
or that's okay. I understand that 100%. So your evil fighting, what is the focus? Are you a killer of a destroyer of the undead? Are you a destroyer of demons? I mean, what's your deal?
um,
Redemption.
redemption. She's trying
Breakdancing.
to get people out of darkness and back into light if she can.
Yeah, okay. Well, then you should write down abyssal, not infernal. Yeah,
See, there's
because
okay.
yeah, you should write down abyssal. No, that's what you should have. Now, because demons possess, devils do not.
But their writing is still infernal.
Well, that is true. That is true. The writing of the Abyssals is in Infernal. But then again, I know this firsthand. I don't know how pedantic I should be. We'll let Bill decide, because I am a
It's too
translator.
late.
No,
Too
I am a
late. We've
no.
already
Listen,
gone.
you listen, Bill, and
Okay.
you make a choice. I am a
Okay.
translator, and one of my main licensed language is cuneiform, right?
Okay.
But Sumerian, the later Sumerian cuneiform, because they have their own kind of Proto-Sumerian, which looks like hieroglyphics, but whatever. The Sumerian cuneiform, the Assyrian, the Akkadian, the Babylonian, and even some of the Hittite and other surrounding area people who picked it up as their writing system for quite a while. Yes, they use the same alphabet, but it doesn't read like that. It's like German is written in the Roman lettering, but it doesn't mean an English speaker can read German. So
Well, I would line it out with like how much time would a chaotic being such as the demons spend to put things into their own
hardly
voice?
any at all.
Well,
Yeah, very
may
little.
Yeah,
I?
they would ape what is already there at
Oh,
at the most,
oh, oh,
right?
Well,
it looked. Oh, so you're leaning in Amy's favor. Hmm.
well,
Huh.
Surprise.
here's a compromise idea.
But think about it.
If
If they're
if
going to
it
take the
is
time enough just to
We
learn
don't need to hear
letters,
from the devil. Okay, go ahead,
no,
Bill. Go
no,
ahead, Bill.
it's a
No,
good
no, no,
idea.
no, no, no. Devils, stop speaking. Go ahead, Bill.
if they're going to take the time enough just to learn the alphabet and be able to write an alphabet, are they going to use their would they know infernal, the language of their enemies? No, I think actually I'm taking it back. They would use their own guttural sounds. What would
Yeah,
work best for
yeah,
them? I
yeah.
mean, is
Bill
really
has
what they would
spoken,
do.
Amy. I was kind of leaning toward, yeah, it would be nice to have another hand, but Bill has spoken, so no, you can't help.
I
It's okay.
know.
That's
It's
okay.
okay.
It's okay. But it actually makes more sense for you to speak Abyssal. Because if you're going after redemption, because demons possess, right? That is something they do. Devils never do that. They make deals. They're the ones who have contracts, right? Devils make contracts, demons possess. So you being a redemption person would definitely be that direction, right? So that's fine. So all I need to know is Bill and Amy, what are you doing during the 3 days? Everyone else is quite busy. Now you can help just kind of around doing various other things, gathering food for people, currying things that they might need or what have you. You could do that or you could do something else. So we'll start with Amy since we're on Amy. What are you doing during this 3 days?
Well, I'm certainly concerned about the poor girl that's lost her family and is in a very far away land. If there's anything I can do to give her some comfort and maybe help people find out if we know where she's from, if there's anybody who would be able to translate for her.
Oh, that's
Or
fair. That's a good idea. So we'll say you accompany her
Mhm.
to the keep where Cassandra is being made comfortable. And
Right.
it's a chance to speak to Cassandra, and she's certainly in better spirits than the last time you saw her. And
Good,
of
good.
course, this girl is devastated. She doesn't know what's going on, what's happening. Her life is just wiped out, right? 7 years is gone, and what the hell, right? Anyway,
Mhm.
so you bring over Cassandra, understand, and she helps as well because Cassandra is a noblewoman, therefore highly trained in getting over it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Everybody.
one of the important things for them, right?
Mhm.
And she does help you, and you guys are having conversations, and you sitting there and helping the girls and interacting and trying to get a communication. You do find a scribe. Vintian helps you, by the way. Um,
Oh, I
and
feel him.
yes, and this is of course Tater's older brother. And
Mhm.
give me a wisdom roll, an insight roll.
I will find that. Wait, do I have that on this? I should have it on this computer. Come on.
You're usually playing computers. Should be okay.
Ugh, I had the wrong browser open.
Insight
Hang
is
on.
wisdom.
Yeah, it's a wisdom based roll, but if you have the insight skill, you get proficiency, so that'd be +4, right?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
good. Yep. Let's see. Nope, that's a YouTube video. Oh, where's the roller? Come on. Nope.
It's in the bubble chat.
It's in
Oh, it
the
is? Oh, thank
bubble
you. I
chat.
have all of these. tabs on the bubble chat. That's so much faster. Okay.
What I use.
Me, me, beep,
I
beep.
love me some bubble chat.
I know, right?
Wow,
Mhm.
that just didn't come out right at all.
Yep.
It
No.
didn't. It
I
didn't.
love
Where
me some
you
bubble
know,
chat.
Bill, when we were young, were you a Flock of Seagulls fan? You were, weren't you?
No.
You
Well,
were.
yeah. I mean, I didn't know what they looked like. I just heard the song on the radio.
They're such idiots. You're only allowed to like Aha because they had the best music video of all time. That's
Well,
it.
that one I did.
There is
Yeah,
that.
that one I did see.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one was good.
Now, isn't that
There.
weird? In all these decades, no
And
one has improved upon that amazing video. Nobody.
No,
the video.
Yeah,
but
isn't
the
that
song has
weird?
been done really.
Well,
The
it's an
song's been
okay
covered
song,
quite
but
well.
that video is killer, dude.
It was.
Yeah.
That
Anyway,
was
I'm
a
Okay.
waiting.
moment of
God. Okay, there
brilliance.
it is.
Mhm.
All
There's
right.
I got 18.
Oh, not bad, not bad. Now you noticed because Vintian has really involved himself, and you know Vintian your whole life. You've known Vintian. He's Tater's older brother, right? So you've seen him and interacted with him many times, and
Mhm.
sometimes he's a bit overzealous. Let's say that. But you do know from your interaction, of course, Tater's opinion, that he does love Iron Pass and wants nothing
Mhm.
but the best for it. This you do know is
Mm.
true. But
Right.
you notice something here with him helping you. And you kind of your memory kind of jogs and you realize it's kind of always been there. You think he's a bit smitten with you.
ah,
Oh.
Well, she is a sexy half elf, just like her other half elf sister. I mean,
Mhm.
come
And
on,
she's holy.
she's
True.
holy. Yeah, she's
Oh,
holy and sexy.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's
Um,
wholly
Questions if to
beautiful.
stay remain a virgin or not.
now, well, it,
No, that's not part of that.
well, she's not head. She's not a cloistered monk. She can do. She can have relationships. But that, anyway, you do with that as you will. But you think he has an eye for you, is what you would say, right? But
You
anyway,
want to be a noble?
I flatter myself and then dismiss it. Like,
fair enough.
oh no, it's not.
But you flatter yourself and then dismiss it. I like that. I like that. That's good. But anyway, beyond that, back to the job at hand. He does get a scribe for you, and this scribe used to work in the capital,
Mhm.
and actually came over here because he needed to get away from the hustle and bustle. His nerves, he was having some nerve troubles,
Mhm. Oh, bless him. We have
and
very
he
good tea
wanted
out
to
here.
go to a quieter setting, and they sent him here. However, this fella was
Mhm.
part of the team and then another reason why he's here was part of the team that it was doing all the investigation and information gathering in regards to the new frontier, a la Iron Pass,
Mhm.
and therefore part of that was this has been 32 years, right? So they've certainly sent scouts very far east and they've been interacting with the Empire for quite a while. And like I said, the Empire isn't particularly hostile, right? I
Mhm.
mean, it's weird because they're necromancers and they can be iron fisted, but they're not evil,
Right.
right? So he actually can read and write the. He can't speak it, but he can read and write it, and therefore He's an old, doddering old man, and he does come, and he's very interested to try to pick up the language, though. So he does try to chat or talk with her, and even though you kind of get the feeling a couple times he might be overwhelming her, she actually seems to smile a couple times at him. So it's not harming at all. It's probably helping. But nevertheless, he is able to help you communicate. So there's you can't sit here and grill the girl all day, but you can ask a couple of questions if you like.
Yeah, and maybe learn some things like where or and a couple of simple words. So if she needs something, I can help her more directly, and just kind of write those down. So if I hear her say something, I can kind of piece that together because I'm sure he does need to go back
Well,
to wherever he's
true,
doing.
but that kind of stuff is like automatic. I'm talking about if you have any actual questions for the girl.
Oh, specific questions.
Yeah, you can ask a
Um,
couple.
a couple of specific questions. I don't. Hmm. What can I do for you?
Oh, okay, that's fine. So
Mhm.
and honestly, she is just a village girl. At
Right.
this, from the information that came from, I can't remember your character's name, lady. It isn't in my head. Isn't in my head yet. What's the name? Vivana or
Mhm.
A voucher. Ah, now you got
What?
no? That's not correct
me
at
doing
all. Let me go look it up.
Ian.
I'll go look
it.
it up. I have my.
Tivara.
Yeah, it's not that.
Ivara.
Why can't you speak your own character's name?
Mm,
Tavera. Tavera. Here it is, Tavera. She's striking, but she looks like a government lady. Can't
there
trust her.
you go.
But anyway, so you do. She's just a city girl. I mean, excuse me, a little town country girl.
Mhm.
She doesn't know nothing of nothing really. Her
Okay.
main thoughts in her head are hanging out with her girlfriends.
Mhm.
The makeup, which is something they hardly get. And she's very curious about this. And there's of course, a boy,
Uh,
but he's probably dead.
oh
And now
no.
she's sad again.
Well,
Good job,
Most of
Amy.
the village is probably watching
well,
her.
I will keep an eye out for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And can I ask her if there had been any strange people who had been around her village before then? Anyone from a foreign town or someone she didn't recognize?
She says that, yeah, there was a foreigner about. They
Was
didn't
there?
even speak the language. Matter of fact, she's talking writing. This is all in writing, right?
Mhm.
And her statement, her written statement is, they sounded kind of like you.
Is that
I mean,
so?
Altarian, right?
Mm, my goodness. Hmm.
Oh, we're a picture of taters, Mom.
Was it a gentleman or a lady or
She says it's she points to your ears
hmm? Oh,
Elvin.
I see. Hmm.
because she has like little cat ears,
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Sometimes they're a bit different. They're a bit small in comparison, I suppose.
Yeah,
She had
but
little ears like yours.
you remember the little old dude here is a human, right?
Right.
But she points to your ears specifically. So
Hmm.
an elf.
An elf.
Yeah.
An
She
elf.
had heard of them. She knows they exist in the West from her point of view,
Mhm.
inside the Eastern Empire. But she had never seen one in her neck of the woods before.
I see.
Okay, very good.
Um, very good. I don't suppose does she have any more information of other strangers or anything specific about
It's
the
only when she
elf?
remembers, and she only remembers because you asked. But that it
Oh,
was weird. Then she had never seen one before.
interesting.
But she does live in a
Hmm.
very cosmopolitan place. There are many races around her. She's just never seen one of your type before.
Right. Or heard or does she recognize the language then, or is it a very
No,
foreign
no, it
language?
just sounds like it,
Oh, okay.
right? Which would be Altarian, because that's what you're speaking. You're not speaking Elven here. You're speaking Common. Your Common being Altarian. Now, keep in mind,
Mhm.
they have kind of a version of everything else you have, but they're
Mhm.
just all Asian faced,
Oh.
Oriental faced, right? And the spirit folk or the people of the Riverland, they
Mhm.
are elves. They're a type of elf, right? They're almost
Really?
extinct type. They have kind
Mm,
of everything you have. It just looks slightly different, and of course the faces are different because
right.
you're a Westerner for her. You're a
Mm,
white person
right.
with pointy
Did
ears.
did the stranger with the pointy ears, did they have was their hair a particular color or their skin or something that might
He writes it down, and she nods her head, and she points to you again.
really? So it
It
must have
was
looked
you.
It was you.
me. I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
No.
I don't remember traveling that far.
But basically, during the
You ought
conversation,
to see if she can draw a
um,
picture of her.
Um, well, I mean, she could try. I don't know how much of an artist she is, but whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, to kind of round it all out, it's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed elf, which is kind of
Very
like
much.
90% of all elves in existence.
Oh, okay. So very much an elf and
Yeah.
not one of the other creatures that might have long ears.
Yeah, most
Okay.
all elves and of
Mhm.
course half elves can have different colored, but even a lot of half elves tend to be blonde. But the elves, the Elfir are very much a Scandinavian thing, right? So,
Mm,
and a lot of people think that in the Edda, they're talking about probably the Sami
mm,
people,
interesting.
which the Sami have become. I don't know if I should use the word they're genetically polluted, but I will.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
but if you go find a pure Sami, some of the
mhm.
most gorgeous humans on earth. I mean, just shocking. I mean, their hair
Oh,
is so platinum. Their eyes are so almost like glowing blue. Their skin is
wow.
so white. They are beautiful. Now, there's a lot of Sami today that have mixed with, the hordes, the Mongol
Mm,
hordes and stuff that
Mm-hmm.
came in. So they have like a lot of them do have
Ugly
kind of
folk.
An Asian tint to them. But you can
mhm,
find pure Sami, and the Sami are they really look like elves. And a lot of people think the Eddas, the Scandinavian stories, the Alfir,
mhm.
are actually talking about the Sami, right? Because if
How
you read the
fun.
Nine Realms, a couple of them are something that's spiritual or dimensional, but mostly they're talking about the lands around them, right? And the people.
Nice.
And the interesting thing with that is the Dvergar, or
Mhm,
dwarves, as English people say it. If you read the original Eddas and stories and stuff like that, they're
mhm.
clearly describing Black African men. And now, how
Oh.
how in the
Yeah.
world did we go from Black African men to little, short, thick dudes with beards? Because
Tolkien.
it's
Don't know.
Tolkien. Maybe it is Tolkien because in the original stories, they are very tall. Their skin is black as soot, and they
Mm,
cannot bear beards. Now we know black people can wear beards, but they rarely do.
mm.
All throughout Africa, they rarely ever wear beards. They usually are clean shaven. Even the most primitive tribal ones tend to shave their beards.
Oh,
And of
so
course,
it's not that they don't grow them, it's that they have a habit of cutting
they have a
them.
cultural thing against them. And of course, if we think about who the Scandinavians would be interacting with, because they were amazing sailors, right? Who were they interacting with? They, of course, would come down the Dnier River, which is in Ukraine today. And they would get into the Black Sea. They would trade at Constantinople, or even earlier places. They would trade in the Mediterranean. So they would have been interacting with black men of North Africa and the Middle East. And those people, well, we're talking about before Islam and all that kind of stuff. But
Right.
those people are extremely, clean shaven. What we call Sudan and Somalia today, I don't even know if there is a moment in there, or the Kush, which is Ethiopia today,
Mhm.
that there is any mention of them ever carrying beards. For some reason, they're very against it. But then again, they're probably emulating the Egyptians, who also were very anti any body hair. The Egyptian peoples shaved everything, even the women. Now,
Mm.
scientists say this is because living in the desert, they would have sand lice, whatever that is,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore
I don't
hair
want
was
to think about it.
troublesome. But most of the Egyptians would
mhm.
shave their entire body, women too, so they didn't have any hair on their body at all, even eyebrows. They were
Did
completely
they
sans hair. And the Ethiopians, who were constantly at struggle and war with the Egyptians, but they
mhm.
were always eager to emulate them.
Kinda jelly, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh.
a little bit maybe.
Goodness.
Well, they were the world power. I mean, I don't, look at how many people
Mm.
copy the
And that's
Americans,
our lesson
even
for
the
today.
stupid stuff. Anyway,
Oh, no.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that is completely nothing to do with
That's
D&D.
how we're
What am I doing? What are you
conquering
doing,
the
lady? This
world.
is
I
definitely your fault, lady. No, no, I'm sorry. I
I
forgot.
told you lesson over.
That's true, but I apologize, lady, because all things are Tater's fault.
That is true.
That is true.
That is the
But
truth.
anyway, so we gain this information, and it is useful. Clearly, an elf of a male elf of the West was way over in the East. So what does that mean? Were they somehow attached to the Gordati? Were they part of one of the scouting parties of the Altarian Empire? Were they from the Thysian Kingdom? Ooh, questions. Bill, what are you
Hmm.
doing?
Hey, how's everybody
Hey,
doing? All right.
good,
So
good.
during this time, Badger and uh his bride,
Blushing bride?
Dandelion. Yeah, bless him. Um, she's from the Ukraine. She's a Scotty.
It's not a
And
blush,
then
it's a punch. Anyway, go ahead.
sure. And then
She is a
it's
Klingon.
a
Just remember that.
it's not a blush, it's a rosé. We went
Okay.
and sowed some seeds at the tobacco farm,
Uh-huh.
and then we
Wow.
also
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
we're planting crops.
You are planting crops.
Yep, yep.
Okay,
That
so you're
is.
working on the farm.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And the next generation.
And then um I went to
Gotta
splurge
check on your shop.
some we went I went for and splurged and bought some magic items. We took a trip to the capital via the mansion. Um got geared up for the coming soiree.
Which capital? The Altarian one?
Yes,
Okay.
the Altarian
Well,
one.
that's the first time you've ever been there, and of course Dandelion as well, even though she comes from the plains of Tarish, which is west of, just over the mountain, right? She's never
No,
been
I
to the
was
capital.
I thought I was at the capital not too.
No, you were at
With,
the Zay.
No.
You were at the
with
Zay,
Taylor.
Yeah,
which
you
is
at
the
the
yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
which is a beautiful place, but it holds no candle to the capital.
Well,
Um,
I can go with them because I kind of need to go
no,
do business there
you
anyways.
aren't going with them because you're busy.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true.
That's
Never
right.
mind.
You're
Uh,
not tagging along
Only
and stop at
Bill
the
has
no
something else
casino.
to do. That's right. Everybody else is
Go on
busy. So
a riverboat casino, and I'm just like,
that's
no,
fine.
man,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
away.
Anyway, since we've never been to Altair, we'll just go. You just take to the main capital. There's a lot of big cities, but we'll go to just Altair. All right. And
Sweet.
Altair, I don't have an image of it, but this is
Mm.
a magic punk world in a way, right? Altair is you've heard about it, you've read about it, you've even seen pictures of it as a kid, right? Studying, but you've never seen it. And my goodness, the buildings soar and touch the sky.
Oh, this is
Um,
awesome.
there is light on the streets, even in the dark alleys, which are made more dark by the height of the buildings at night, or even during the day. They are not fueled by oils or stuff like that. It's all or magical because you've seen plenty of magical lights in your life, especially with all the elves. But these things are powered by a somewhat new invention called electricity. And they have a hum to them. It's almost unnatural, but the light they give is vibrant. Um, the streets are just packed with people all the time. Too much people. You almost feel uncomfortable, almost claustrophobic. Maybe a feeling you've never had in your life. But the shops and stores are just anything you can imagine, and then a lot of things you never even thought should or would exist. Dandelion, of course, have a very similar experience to you because she's a country girl as well. Um, and but you're just absolutely shocked by this city. And of course, you're finding magical items and magical shops and stuff like that. And of course, a lot of these more scientific artificer things like Lissay, there's whole shops dedicated to it here, much larger than what she has. So you can, and of course, everything funnels into Altair, right? And therefore everything you or anything you would possibly want is here. But the just sheer size, busyness, height, and spectacle of Altair is amazing. And of course, you guys probably take a stroll and maybe you have dinner at along the port. and that is amazing. The tall ships, the flying ships, there's steam ships, and there's even some ships that are seem to be a combination of this electrical technology and magic that are powered by these giant generating wheels. You, of course, as you're sitting on the port, you can see off in the mist in the distance because you're inside of like a bay. But on the other side of the bay, there's like a gigantic, beautiful garden, and then up on the hill over there is Castle Altair, where the emperor resides, and it's bigger. The foundation of that is bigger than the entirety of Iron Pass, just the foundation, right?
Oh wow.
Um,
Dang.
it's just the whole thing is an incredible spectacle. You're wow, wow, and everyone knows you're a tourist because you're looking up all the time.
Right, right.
Hmm.
That's, that's
Um,
why you get sunglasses when you go to New York.
Better
that's
check
right.
your.
That's right. Yeah. But anyway, you and Dandelion have a fine time actually, because like I said, she's a country girl too. I mean, you're not from the same areas per se, but you're still country people. And even though she is a hardened, experienced warrior, she's still a girl inside. I mean,
Mm.
she is a girl, right? And she's happy. She's
Sure.
happy to show it. And that's one thing she can do around you is kind of just be a girl, where normally she can't be.
Mm.
And she rather enjoys. As a matter of fact, this whole trip she's wearing a sundress,
Nice.
and
Aw.
you're not really sure how
Oh,
you
Nice.
feel
woo.
about it. You're not sure.
Oh no, I'm cool. I bought it.
Oh,
I
okay,
just
that's fine.
that's
You
the
bought it anyway,
uh, got her to try something new.
right?
And that was part of the hook. I was
Oh
like,
well, there
we're
you go.
going somewhere. We're going somewhere, but you have to wear this.
I'm gonna
And she
buy.
got a big
Oh,
yeah, big
oh,
smile.
big smile.
And
Happy,
then
happy.
we off we
Happy
left.
barbarian orc. But anyway, of course, as you're walking to the magic shops, you're looking up, and you're more in an area where the streets are a bit wider because the money to be spent here is quite high, right? And you look up, and there's some flotilla of flying ships going over. Pretty low. You don't have much experience with these kind of. They exist, but they seem to be pretty low to you, but they're flying over, and no one else on the street seems to care. They're flying ships, people.
And no
Does
one noticed.
nobody understand how big a deal this is?
Right. But anyway, you can very easily find anything up to rare in Altair.
Awesome. Okay. Well,
Ooh.
I did all the math
Yeah.
and did all that. So I've acquired what I needed to. I just wanted
Mhm.
to make it fun.
And
And
if you
so,
have, oh sure, if you have the right connections, you can even get legendary items here.
well, I don't
Ooh.
know anybody
No, you
here.
don't.
So
But just shopping normally, you can find up to rare here, which normally anywhere else in the world you go, uncommon would be kind of the pinnacle, right?
yeah, yeah,
Most of the
uh,
time, most of the time.
Would this be
yeah. Go ahead.
would this be a good place to go training if you were an artificer?
Oh, absolutely. She's the only artificer. Uh, Gee, I don't know.
Let's
Maybe the
talk
Gordati
there.
have some. There's not many artificers around. We haven't even really established why she's an artificer or how she's an artificer. There must be somebody she communicated with, although it is in her half elf blood. But yes, no, there are a lot of artificers. Matter of fact, over in Altair, in the very western part of the Altarian Empire, artificers are almost like superstars because they've changed the world just like in the past 50 years. A
Mhm.
lot has changed. Keep in mind, it's only been about that long since they introduced electricity. It's only become public knowledge during the history of Iron Pass, and it's only been implemented in the past like 15 years. So
Whoa.
it is all rather new, because magic was the thing, and it still is. But this new technology of the artificers is pretty impressive. And do keep in mind, D&D, of course, is applying magical aspects to artificers because it's D&D, but really what
Sure.
the artificers are representing is science,
Mhm.
right? The magic that is science. So it is rather new. But artificers, there are many, and they are prevalent. Yes. over here.
Right.
But then
Very
again,
cool.
Altair is kind of a gathering point for them.
Right. Hmm. That. Hmm. I think we'll have to make a trip there sometime. But now this is up in the Elven Kingdom, right?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
This is in the human kingdom of Altaria.
oh, I
You are,
see.
yes, you are. You certainly, pretty much all our characters have connections to the Thysian kingdom, right?
Vizian. And
Because of
Altair
the
is the human
situation
kingdom.
in Iron Pass. But Iron Pass is a frontier colony town of the Altarian Empire. And it's effectively just think of this entire thing we're in as kind of Eurasia, whereas the Pacific Ocean is not an ocean; it's just a gigantic lake, and the Americas are on the other side of the lake, this big lake. But you're Eurasia, and you guys are sitting like in the Altai Mountains is where you guys are, which is in the western part of Mongolia. That's where
Mm-hmm.
you are, right? And the Altarian Empire is what, Paris, or the Altair. This city is like Paris or London or something like that, right? It's far on the ocean to the west. So that's the play. This is a human kingdom, although all peoples are welcome, and they are, of course, there are there, but it is a
Right.
human empire. But no, we're not anywhere near here. He just used Jason, who is very excited to be involved. So they
Ooh,
are literally, I don't know, 4,000 miles away,
how fun. I'll have
five
to ask
thousand,
Jason if we can go
maybe
shopping
five
sometime.
thousand.
So we went to Bill to Amy. Aren't we with Bill?
Yeah, I know. We keep. Well, anyway, I'm done with Bill anyway. So Bill, you got all you're supposed to get.
Okay.
Back to what we're
Ah,
supposed to be doing. Yes, thank you very much, lady. You are the three of you are hard at work, and of course, Wigwam can help. Vintian is trying to be of help. He's not super helpful, but he's trying to be helpful. But we all hands on deck. And we actually another person who is recruited because you guys all know her, and that is somebody's auntie here, Madame Kitari, comes in and helps too because she is a tiefling and, well,
Mhm.
she does understand and speak Infernal. So
oh
she's,
yeah,
yeah,
should have mentioned her.
she's a tiefling, and she comes in and she helps as well. Very happy to do so. And she's dressed in a kind of a business suit, like a lady's business suit. You've never seen her dressed like that. Usually,
Mhm.
she is well ventilated.
Mhm.
Does he have an ascot?
Sure, why not? That sounds perfect. Yep.
Cool.
Um. So we doing like investigation rolls, or how are we doing this?
No, no, no rolls needed. We're just
Okay.
translating. This isn't in code. It's just written in Infernal. Now, what you're seeing in these letters is this. Um, there are some letters that are from because you're kind of first you catalog and then you start translating, right? There are some letters here that are from the Prince Ratic, right? There are a
Mm,
few of
okay.
them, not many. There are a few of them. There are a few letters as well that are directly from Malatrix herself, or they're titled that, right?
What?
But yes, Malatrix herself has written letters to Darren. Yes. But the vast
Oh,
bulk of them, I'd say 80% of it, are correspondence between Darren and some person you've never heard of. And the name is Krath Ilum,
Crap.
signed
Oh.
Krath Ilum. You've never heard of this person, you have no idea who it is. Like I said, 80% of the letters are from him. And over the 3 days, you guys are digging in and translating all this stuff. And of course, it's all correspondence, and every single one of them are important because none of it is idle chit chat,
Mm,
right? And basically, these
yeah.
letters are kind of falling into this category, into this situation. They're all directing that. There's a timeline here. That Darid, how is the Vampire Spawn creation project going? is a lot of the early ones. When will they be sent? They have we have received them. Okay. Another set of communique. Have you located the hammer? No. Have you located the hammer? Not as of yet. Have you located the hammer? Yes.
No.
Oh.
Okay. In the correspondence letters. And let's see. So we have that. So we got Spawn. We got the hammer. What to do about Iron Pass? This is the old one, right? Iron Pass is just simply a test run. How was the Iron Pass project? Failure, setback. Should we bother with Iron Pass? Don't think it matters. Information gathered, uh, uh, and then there's nothing else on Iron Pass. And then the last thing, set of conversations, is when will the father arrive? And these are all from Malatrix, by the way. I have been preparing to receive him. Father is delaying. We are prepared, et cetera, et cetera. And Malatrix is talking about her father, and it seems like her father, who we know who he is busy and not really interested in whatever kind of dumb shit Malatrix is up to, and she's a bit miffed by it.
Mhm.
And the prince's communique are just letters of thanking Derek for keeping him in the loop. So his letters are not directives; they're just simply response to letters he received, right? Because I'm kind of reading between the lines here because a lot of it is this is all from one side coming back to her, but they're mentioning what she had said. 'Cause you don't have her letters; they do,
Yeah.
right? But nevertheless, the information you get is kind of what you already knew, but it's absolute confirmation. You know, whatever the vampire spawn thing is, they have completed it and have delivered it, whatever that means. You know, there's a new name in play, Krath Ilum, Krath, Krahillham, Krath Ilum. I have no clue who this person is. And the father doesn't seem to be too interested, so which is a good thing. Osmodeus won't be arriving anytime soon. That's kind of nice.
Always.
And what was the other thing I had said? The hammer. Yeah, that's a big one.
Mhm.
They have found it. Therefore, in the mountain, in the cave system around it, they have found where the hammer lies in the head of the primordial. They have found it. That's a big deal.
I
And
wonder.
that's about it.
Okay. Well, that's good information to have. We should definitely take the information that kind of implicates the prince. More evidence against him. We should share that with Fedskith.
Sure. Well, yeah, and you guys can certainly get to that during the three
Yeah.
days that's all happening. Um, but at this particular moment in time, the three of you guys are in the room working on translations and all that kind of stuff. You guys are, finishing up your work, and you're all quite pleased. But you're all sitting in the Iron Company meeting room. In here, of course, Wigwam has been helping. Jason is always kind of, dusting and keeping things neat and being ready because, he's enjoying the situation maybe a bit too much. But nevertheless, you guys are all in the room. Amy,
Mhm.
you've spent the past few days comforting the girls and stuff like that, and you've been of help, which makes you happy. But at this specific moment in time, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. Where are you?
Oh, um, gee, I guess I should go. Should I go visit my friends? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm not. I just want to know where your character is. I just need to know where you are
Oh,
in town.
in town. Uh, well, let's see. Is there anything I can be useful for?
I don't know. It's
There's always
Sunday.
the God's Hall.
There's God's Hall. You might well be there.
Well, then, maybe I'm just seeing if there are any sicker people in the village I can tend to, or just
Which would be at the
generally.
God's Hall, because that's where the
Really?
hospice is. It's really mainly what the God's Hall is. It's a hospice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so you're at the hospice at the God's Hall. Okay, cool. Bill, I only need a yes or no. Have you returned from your trip or not? Are we extending our trip? Are we dancing at the nightclub? Is what I want to know, Bill.
Um, no, I can't be gone too long because there's stuff going on.
So no.
But
Okay, so you're back in
I'm
town. Where
back
are
in
you?
town. Um, I I think I'm going to be checking into talk to my aunt and see what she's found out wherever she is.
Okay. Well, she'd be back at Wonderland right now, and you and Dandelion are going. And the one thing you do like about your girl, well, I guess she's your wife now, is the fact that she's completely comfortable in a brothel. No
Yeah.
problem at all.
Of course she is.
Of course she is. Well, of course she is. But of course, this is your family, it's your home, and
Mhm.
she, of course, has met your auntie before, and she probably likes her, and I'm sure they get along. But nevertheless, you're talking to her, and she's just telling you about her translation, helping. She was very happy to do something other than what something different, right? Because mainly she's managing Wonderland, right? But she kind of informs you what they learned and what I've already told you. So you're sitting there chatting with your auntie, and she's very happy to have been of help. Dandelion is off across the room, and she's playing cards, poker, probably some kind of poker, with a bunch of rough-looking adventurers,
Of course she
Okay.
is.
and very happy. Nevertheless, everyone is in their positions.
Interesting.
All of you here. Oh, Puffin, yeah, we know you guys are in. You're translating. Um, all of you here from wherever you are, screaming. Many people screaming. You also
I
hear this. You know, just listen.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You also hear this very loud series of sounds. You hear this type
Mm.
of sounds. You guys at wigwams, particularly, not the other people. You can feel this heat like being near an oven, right? You're not damaged by it, but all of a sudden there's this wave of heat runs through the room,
Mhm.
and you just hear this kind of roar, a bestial roar that you've never heard the likes of this. It's just so deep and guttural, and it's followed by this, type of sound again. What do you do?
Somebody wrote
I know it is. I know it
me.
is. I'm gonna rush outside.
You rush outside. Now, the rest of
Yeah.
you are in different places. You don't see this particular scene, but you see something. I'm assuming everyone goes outside to see what's going on. And of
Mm.
course, being at the hospice, it's not much of
Yeah.
a stroll. And of course, the wigwams, you look to the south because you guys are north, right?
Oh,
And
you
you
carry the
can't.
map back up.
Yeah, I am going to. I am good. Well, I have a series of things. Trust me.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
All right.
you guys all run outside, and you see to the south of you. It's kind of blurring out the town. The entire forest south of Wigwams is on fire. Right? It's just ablaze. And of
A
course, from
dragon.
The God's Hall, you see with the next image I'm going to show you in a minute, Amy. And the rest of you, who are over at Wonderland, see something very similar to wigwams. There's fire everywhere. And of course, as you're outside, you hear another guttural roar, and you hear another and fire erupts further down in the town. And of course, Amy is the one who gets the best look at this, but you all kind of catch it a little bit off in the distance. There is something flying over the town,
Yeah.
Amy.
My
Yeah,
dragon.
yeah. Out of character, yeah. My character would be like,
But
"Oh
it
crap."
looked impure.
I'm gonna look at my sword and just wonder. I wonder what a dragon soul would do to this thing.
I'm on my broom of flying towards it.
Well, everyone is coming out of their various bases. Let's stop there. Okay.
Okay.
Now the dragon is heading. Those you can all see it. You have the people at Wigwam have the best advantage because Wigwam's a bit on a hill that overlooks everything. So you guys kind of have the best vantage point. It is flying and breathing fire. It's large, by the way. I mean, not no, it's huge technically, and as far as mechanically in D&D, the things like a flying elephant is gigantic. Um, but it's heading toward the keep and just burning the town. The
Fuck.
town is on fire, dude. And people are screaming, whether they're injured or not. They're just terrified. But Iron Pass is under assault. Now, let me go to the other two first, and I'll come back to the people of Wigwam. Now, Amy, you see a
Yeah.
frickin' giant dragon burning the town and heading toward the keep. What do you want to do?
Let's see. Do I see anyone about it? I don't know a lot about dragons, so I don't know what I would know.
Well, you don't need to know much. It's a gigantic flying reptile thing that breathes fire. It's like the body size is that of an elephant, or maybe even a little bit more. But of course, it has this long neck with a giant head, big bat wings, and a tail. So it's overall way bigger than an elephant. But the body is about the size of an elephant. And it's flying. And
Mhm.
it mainly is gliding with occasional flap to keep itself on its level. And it's just letting out gouts of fire and burning the town as it goes. I mean, that's not much more needed to know. Yeah, no, no,
I'm
no, no. Let
sorry.
her decide what she's doing.
I'm not saying anything.
I wish I could be as happy as you guys are. Um,
Well, you're
It
not
comes with time.
you're not a D&D'er.
Yeah,
That's
in
why.
character, none of us are happy.
Nobody's happy. Yeah, no, this is devastating. People are dying. Yeah, of course not. But you're not a D&D'er because in D it's called Dungeons. Catch this, and Dragons. Yeah. Um.
Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. He said it. He said the thing. He said the thing.
Yeah.
Pow, 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 pow.
what did he say?
Yeah. D&D'ers love to fight dragons. Not only because it's
Oh,
a very hard fight, and this is an adult dragon. Do keep that in mind. As a matter of fact, it's a named dragon, which we'll get to. So it's a
Oh,
very tough fight.
yeah.
But there's also a lot of benefits. Unfortunately, it's not a layer fight, so we're not going to get the treasure. But there are treasures that just from the
Thank
body of the
God.
dragon, if we can beat it. Yeah, that's true, because layer
Of course
actions
we
are
do.
a
Yes.
whole nother thing, right? That's true. But nevertheless, it's a wickedly hard fight. And we love to fight dragons. You know, it's literally called Dungeons and Dragons, Amy. Literally, right? But anyway, of course the characters aren't happy. Their friends and family are dying, obviously. But you're a paladin of redemption. So what do you? I would assume you jump into action and charge toward the keep.
I
Steal a
assume.
horse or something.
It'll
I
be
mean,
fine.
I have my own mount. Like it's my
Okay, well,
paladins
good.
have them. They're magical mounts. So I could probably have him. And then I figure if I head towards the keep, probably all of my friends are headed that way too.
Probably you would assume they are adventurers. They are the heroes of Iron Pass, the Iron Company. So therefore you are chasing after the dragon.
Mm.
I would assume.
Chase the dragon.
Chase, just do that. Just do that, Amy. Okay. So, Bill, you and Dandelion run out. You see the same scene. Your vantage point isn't as good as Amy's, but you can see the dragon through the smoke. Um, you've never seen it. You know they exist, but you've never seen anything like this. But Dandelion steps up alongside you. She squints her eyes. She pulls out of her backpack what her that weird little spyglass thing she has. It's like Amy's, but not as fancy or pretty, and she kind of looks in on it, and she is very angry, like all of a sudden, right? And she knows who that dragon is.
Oh, what? What do you see?
I will give a reveal. Are we ready?
Yeah.
This
Of the
dragon is
terror
well
of
known about the peoples of Tarish, the plains of Tarish. This dragon has taken many lives
Oh,
and
so it's
has.
not the green terror.
No, it is not. This is a red dragon. And this
Okay.
dragon, the green terror is a primordial
Here.
anyway. It's not a real dragon. It's kind of where dragons come from.
Okay.
This is a real dragon. But her people know well the orcs, because the orcs are the nomads of the Terrish plains, right? And they've dealt with this very particular dragon for 2 generations, right? And of course, he's called the Terror of Deepingholm because Deepingholm was a very big and successful orcish city on the plain that no longer exists because of this dragon. So she knows who Xanthus Calistrat is. And she's instantly mad. Whatever weapon she has at hand is in her hands, sundress and all. And she just off and charging. Bill, what are you doing?
Ow, I'm following. Well, uh, yeah, I'm following.
She's gonna be moving fast.
Oh yeah,
We
no.
both need 40, so
She's very enraged and she's moving toward this thing. Stamina be damned. Because like I said, the other people don't know anything about the name of the dragon, but he just heard it. She knows exactly who this is, and she wants it dead for various reasons. But nevertheless, so that's what you
I
guys are
would
doing.
do
Amy,
with the
what is
orcish
your
part of
mount, by
her.
the way, Amy?
Um, I well, I thought it would probably be like a lion, like a I think what's it called? A spotted lion?
What?
I think you said I could have animals, but oh, I was going to ask if when I get a greater mount ability if I can get. Well, anyway, that's not important.
Well, that's fine. I don't mind. Though you can have any kind of fantastical mount you want. They're usually more fun to role play getting them because it's more fun. But whatever. All
Hmm.
right, you're on your mount and you're heading along.
it's a
Dandelion
griffin.
is. Well, that would be more standard for a paladin, yeah. But that's all right. She's
Yeah.
got herself a lion. Dandelion is running with Badger in tow. Badger's like keeping up with her, but of course he's wondering why are we chasing after the dragon? But whatever. Uh, the rest of you, however, as everyone's getting ready to engage, because I'm sure you all are, as you step out of wigwams and look up at the air and see all the fire and see the dragon and all that kind of stuff, and hear the cacophony of screams and fire and roar, you do see something else. Matter of fact, floating out of the sky with wings turning into a cloak, you see this, a light in front of you, and then another.
Hmm.
One
Ooh,
speaks
twins.
and says, there you are. The other one says, yes, brother, they are there. Hmm, they are very, very silly creatures, don't you think, brother? I do indeed. How silly of them to think that the devils of Nessus do not have allies. We do have allies, brother. That is true. Matter of fact, one of our allies who works and lives in Nessus. Yes, it does, brother. The mother of all dragons, Tiamat herself. We have conversed with her. We have, brother. She is temperamental, however. But yes, we do have allies, and you have gained their ire. Initiative.
We're all doing
One
initiative
and
right now, or
two.
is he doing it right
Oh
now?
no, you three.
Me
Everybody who was
too.
at Wigwams gives me
Oh,
initiative,
Okay.
which
okay.
is Puffin, GOP, and Lady. Right? Bill is in another part of town, and actually,
Yep.
Bill and Dandelion will probably run into Amy very, very
4.
shortly.
I'm a 9.
So the three of them will be moving together. But the rest of you are actually sitting in wigwams because you've been working, right?
All right.
Lady gives you a 9. Let me go roll for myself here. Have to
18.
now. By the way, this
6.
entire battle, which I know will go beyond today, but this entire battle is bottled. So, you know,
Bottled.
bottled. Yes.
We
Meaning,
could die.
yeah, I'm not.
Yahtzee.
I'm there. This is full up. I'm not going to cut any corners or anything like that. This is a full on bottled roll, which means at the table, Puffin, when you're sitting at the table, a lot of DMs will take a single D20 and put it inside like a glass container, like one of those little dice boxes, plastic dice boxes you get. We'll put it inside of there, and a lot of times we roll our dice behind the curtain, right? So we can cheat it because you don't necessarily want to kill your
Mm-hmm.
party all the time, right? But a bottled fight is when we use that dice in the thing and we shake it and put it on the table in front of everybody. Therefore, we can't
Yep.
fudge the dice.
Just revealed dice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it.
revealed die. Oh,
I've
yeah, there you go. Now that's the
But
other way.
everything we do is bottled because you always post it in the thing. So
Yeah, but I can kind of choose what powers I'm
you
putting
can.
on it, right?
Yeah.
And I often do that, but I'm not. This is straight out of the book. You are facing two horned devils, so have fun. And of course, you're
Yeah.
also it won't be this battle, but you're also facing a full-on adult red dragon, a named one. So have fun. Nevertheless,
legendary actions.
initiative here. So I just got to find this. Ooh, they are juicy. All right.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited.
Right on. I
Uh,
wish I was there.
yeah, well, that's all right. I mean, you will be there for the big fight. I mean, because
I'm cool.
this is a fight, but it's not that dramatic, especially with
Yeah,
Puffin
hurry up.
sitting here.
You guys need to finish off thing
Uh,
1 and thing 2,
I am a
and then
oh
come
glass
see the
wow,
cannon.
dragon.
wow, I win. Holy cow. All right. I usually don't win these kind of things. All right. So I have the brothers Draga and Solm, or Solme here, and they are horned devils of Nessus, and they've been sent to deal with you specifically. Of course, they knew you were at wigwams and that they came to wigwam. It's not like they're tracking you individually, but they are attacking. Let's see here. They have quite a bit of information about you by now. So they're facing they're facing a cleric who they might probably don't know if you're upgrade. So that's in your advantage. They're facing a new face who they don't know anything about, lady. So you're an unknown quantity to them. And of course, they're facing the warlock who serves the rogue, as they would refer to it. Your devil god is, from their point of view, is a rogue, they think, and they say
Yeah.
so. But and they say it with disdain, of course. So all right. So who would they attack first? Let's say Draga. I think they would instinctively kind of set aside the unknown quantity for now. So they would attack what they know. So Draga is going to attack the warlock, and Solme is going to attack the priest or the cleric. So let's get to that. So Draga, moves with incredible celerity, by the way, and is very very quick because as they move, their cloaks kind of become wing like. So every time they move, it's kind of flight, pseudo flight, So they are moving at 60 foot per round, which is double normal human movement. And he comes in, and what's he going to do? See, that won't be good. That's great.
Hit me.
Let's just do this straight up thing. So yeah, I'm going to do this. So he's going to come in, and of course, as they move, in their hand materializes a Nessian fork, which is the standard, the hell tine or the hell fork of the devil, right? And that's a Nessian fork. Uh,
Pitch.
a pitchfork. Yeah, well, it's a two-tong one though. It's
Well,
a
it's called it a trident. Yeah.
no, it's the fork of Hades. It's not a trident. It's three-tonged, and it's different.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yes, you're basically right. They come in, and this forms in their hand, and of course he's taking two whacks towards you, GOP.
Hit
And
me.
let me go ahead and see how this is. Ooh, it's juicy. Are you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
This is straight out of the book, by the way, guys. I'm not adding anything to it.
Get him.
Just
Give him some bonk.
all right. We have a
Bonk me.
19, probably
Ooh.
not.
Fail.
And then he kind of he thrusts forward with that after that swipe with a second attack that hit.
Ooh.
Ooh, that does hit.
Okay. And this does have a reach of 10 foot, by the way. So he is pole arming you. Therefore, he is at a distance. He's not in the 5 foot engagement. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
These are a pole arm fight, right? But you know what that is. Yeah, these things are nasty. All righty. Let's see. I'm going to use fancy dice for this one. Let's use that. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. And
Fancy dice. Fancy dice. I want to see the fancy dice.
of course, did I crit? I don't think I did. No.
No.
All right. But he comes in, he catches you in the shoulder, and he does 17 points of damage. That I actually rolled pretty high, didn't I? Yeah, I
You
rolled
did.
pretty good. I rolled pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm
what
not
kind of
done. I'm
damage
not.
was it?
I'm not done.
Oh,
17
okay.
points of damage. Um, and that's from his fork, his devil fork attack. And he does have a third attack that can either be his tail or a hurl of flame or a breath of flame. So I'm going to do the flame thingy because he doesn't know your immunities are
He
not
does
invoked.
have a. Oh, wait a second. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
I was going to have fire going up because of the dragon. So he should have a +2 bonus to
Yeah,
rolls for
you're
his
not up yet.
damage
I'm first. You're not.
or resistance. Okay.
That will apply
Okay.
later, but it doesn't matter now.
Yep.
But anyway, he doesn't. You might have your own resistances for all he knows. But anyway, he's going to try to hit you. Now, this is a targeted fire. It's not like an area or a cone or anything like that. So he has to hit you normally. So let me go ahead and do this again. Alrighty. And he misses. So
Where's Tower at when
this
we need him?
you guys could use him because he'd probably be with you, right? So that would
I
be
was just
handy to have
thinking
him.
that.
But
Yes.
whatever. Anyway, this gout of flame goes by the left side of your head, singeing some of your hairs there, particularly in the ear. But you were meaning to get to that anyway.
Mhm.
But completely missed. But it is pretty hot and nasty. It is pretty nasty, and
Just
it
like the
does hit the
girl.
wall behind you, and it does start a fire.
Oh no.
Not in our new clubhouse.
Well, this
No,
is the
wigwams. Okay.
academy itself, you know. But and that course room is inside the academy. Been prepared for you. Nevertheless, that's my attack against GOP. My attack against Puffin is going to probably be less dramatic. So Puffin,
It's probably gonna kill me. Oh no.
no way. You have armor and a freaking named legendary sword, dude. You should have no problem in this fight.
Oh yeah, that's not the problem. It's my low hit points that are the problem.
Oh, I see. But you do have pretty stout armor. He comes at you. That's certainly a miss. Same kind of thing. He's attacking with
Natural one.
his
Oh no.
fork. Let me give a dex roll real quick for him. What is that? Yep. And he's able to keep his footing. He over lunges, right? And then he
Mhm.
brings the swipe in for the second one. misses. Didn't roll a 1 again, did I? No. Okay,
No,
good.
you rolled a 5.
Okay, good. And then he's going to use his tail attack, not the fire attack on you. And it's the same. It's the same dice roll. So let me just do that. And he hits with that.
Oh.
So he swings at you twice. You kind of back up, and the tines of the fork miss you. But coming in from kind of behind, you get this snap of a tail into your your left side. And the tail attack does that. And what's the damage? Okay, it's less. All right. You take 13 points of damage from that attack. Okay.
Oh,
And my round is done. So everybody else goes.
Okay. I think I was first. So I am going to move over. I'm 10 feet away from him, so I'm not.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got to go talk to someone. Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves. Exciting demons, devils,
Yeah.
dragons.
Ooh.
Where's
All right.
Lise?
the sword's out. I'm gonna try to kill him in one round.
Oh yeah, she would be with us, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Oh well, we
Who?
gotta.
Heal.
Wasn't I with the at
I've
the
got to
Mage's
heal
Tower?
myself and kill
Oh
him.
Yeah,
no,
here
you
you
were. Well, yeah, you were, but were you there the whole time?
I'm not sure.
No.
That's well. Where would you be then?
Oh yeah.
Can
I
you?
mean, Chester never asked me what my new position was after that. I assume
Oh yeah, we'll have to
I'm not
get
sure.
that.
I wasn't really asked, my position was never exactly formally stated.
Well,
I
if
would
it's
say when he
stated,
comes back, yeah, let him know that like,
think
hey,
about it.
yeah, just let him know
Yeah.
you probably would be here then. I mean, most likely. But I will say that Puffin, I'm gonna get behind the one that's attacking you to give you flanking advantage. So just
Oh,
when you,
he's gonna evaporate. Don't worry.
yeah, I know,
He's
but
gonna
you get
one-shot this
advantage.
guy.
Yeah, you get advantage on the hit, is what I'm saying. So
Oh
that's
yeah, I
where
know.
I'm gonna be. Um,
I'm gonna activate probably try to activate the blade's
yeah,
haste ability, and then
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
get probably three. I don't know
and
if it
I'll
gives me second round, but yeah, I'll probably get like 3 or 4 attacks on him.
okay, and I will. Yeah, I'll when it's my or well when Chester gets back, I'll get into flanking with it. Then I'll cast Armor of Agathes on myself, and I'll hit it with Hex.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my plan.
And I'm gonna thunder strike him all 3 times, so it's gonna suck for him.
Does
Should I have
ever
access to 5th level artificer spells by now?
what level?
I'm going
What?
bathroom.
You absolutely should have fourth. Let's see, Artificer.
Let's just see.
I'm pretty sure you should have access to fifth, but I'll look. But I feel like you should have access to fifth, so you should have those spells. Oh no, because you're a half caster. That's right. So you would only have third. My bad. I was expecting because I was thinking wizards because they're full casters. You don't get a fourth level spell until you are 13th level.
The me or Amy? Just checking. No, you. Me. Okay, so I'm still 3rd level.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah. You can cast up to third level spells. Once you're 13th level, once your character's 13th level, you can cast fourth. Yeah, because
Hey,
I wasn't even thinking artificers are half casters.
don't you get a bonus for using a weapon in both hands, like an extra bonus to hit?
Only if it has the versatile properties. So if your weapon is normally a two-handed weapon, which I think yours is,
Hmm.
then you don't get an extra bonus because you're always using it two-handed. Essentially. So, lady, what are you planning on doing on your turn?
The dragon fights with fire, right?
See, he had me write it down. It's a +3 weapon, but it also gives me +2 attack and damage as a two-handed weapon. So I think it gives me +5 to hit.
That sounds like +5. And having trouble hearing you.
Yes, fire. Everything's on fire.
Everything is on fire. Yeah.
And to answer your question, honey, red dragons are fire immune. Okay,
And
so
they're resistant to most magic.
Set my soul on fire.
hmm
You know what the sad part for these guys is uh, if my sword kills this dude, normally demons go back to their realm to reform, but I'm just gonna eat his soul.
Yeah,
Well-
poor baby.
hey, lady, another thing you might want to consider, you have haste, correct? That is one of the spells we picked for you, lady.
Better haste yourself.
Are you there, lady? Okay, well, this is gonna go well.
She may have had
Um,
to step out for a second. Yeah,
true. True.
just his absence. You go talk to a quote guy.
Oh,
I'm sure he had diarrhea.
yeah, he probably did. It was probably like damage from the recent kaiju attack, the most recent, and it's had to get it
Hey,
repaired.
drawing's almost done. I'm gonna show it to you guys.
All right, cool. Lady, was that you?
We're all quiet.
Oh, there you are. Hey, so we did pick out haste, right, as one of your spells.
Yes,
You might want to haste Puffin on your turn.
I thought
Huh?
he had his own haste. Does he not
Why? Why
have
would
his own
Puffin?
haste?
I have
Mm.
my own. The sword can give me haste.
Oh, it does. Oh, well, never
Yes.
mind. Yeah, then I don't know anyone else in the party who haste would actually be useful for, because
All
it
right.
doesn't
I
really.
don't know what else I could do though.
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, I'm back. All right, so where
That's
was
all
I?
right. You can take another 5 minutes if you want.
You got a bunch of
No,
different powers.
yeah,
We just
no,
defeated these creatures.
no, that didn't happen.
Barely
I'm
alive.
sure it will though. But yeah. Anyway, now one thing I didn't really mention because we had left Honey at the sanctum, but by now she certainly has returned. We'll just assume she was at Wigwams, right? So we'll assume Amy's here. So Amy should definitely have rolled an initiative as well. Not Amy, excuse me, Honey.
Yeah, honey. That's
Honey
yeah.
should have made an initiative roll as well. But anyway, Honey. So yeah, it doesn't matter. I won. I rolled super high. But you should probably roll the dice for that. But looks like GOP's first though. So go.
Okay. I'm going to cast. I'm going to move over to get into flanking with where Puffin is, the one that's attacking him, and I'm going to cast Armor of Agathes on myself.
Okay.
And
well,
it's my
all right. So now keep in
bonus.
mind he has reach. So you're
Yeah, I
going
know.
to garner an attack of opportunity from him.
I'm fine. I
Okay.
don't care.
All right. So let me do. Nope, nope, not right. Okay, stop doing that. All right, here we go. So, he definitely hit you. All right.
All right. And you're rolling a lot of 17s.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I roll low and sometimes I roll high. It's the nature
point.
But
of
remember, GOP,
things.
you casted Armor of Agathes, then you moved.
Yeah, that's true. So I have
So
Armor of
you'll
Agathes.
absorb damage and you'll deal damage back to him for him hitting you.
What do I got?
Yeah, I would assume he'd do it in that order. It'd be stupid not to. So,
Yep, Armor of Agathes.
yeah.
That's what I got going on.
So you cast a spell and take a step. Now, the Armor of Agathes, of course, is your action, but you're trying to get in position, I understand, to help him.
Mm-hmm.
You do take 15 points of damage. However, the spell does have its benefits, and tell us what that is.
So he takes 25 points of cold damage, and I still have 10 points left of my shield. So I'm going to move. So yeah, he takes 25 points of cold damage. That's what happens to him. I am going to continue moving, getting into flank on the opposite side of the one attacking Puffin,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hex on the one attacking Puffin,
Okay.
and that'll be my turn.
Now, in 5th edition, condition immunities, I know what those are. Damage immunities, of course, are immunities. But resistance is half damage, right?
Resistance is half damage.
Okay. So, therefore, he takes 12 of that. Alrighty. So, very good. And you get yourself in a position, which, of course, we'll go to Puffin next. Puffin, you now have, I think, flanking gives you advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So against Sol May, who's the one you're fighting, you have advantage on your attack rolls, Puffin. So get him.
I'm going to have the blade give me haste, so I'm going to swing at him twice, and then I can use my bonus action to swing again. So first attack. Does a 26 hit him?
26, I most certainly think does, but that looks like a 39. Oh, I see. You didn't roll it right.
Oh no, I
Yes.
rolled 2d6. I mean 2d20 for advantage.
Yeah, these things have 18 armor class, so you got him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got him. They're pretty
All right.
stout, but
And
no.
that was a thunder strike, so it's going to do 2d6. Let me look at just so I don't mess it up. And I can do the thunder strike 3 times a day, so all 3 of these attacks are going to be thunder strikes. So that does strength plus 3 plus. Okay, so let's see here. I just need to click on this a few times. See, I wrote it all down, Chester. Aren't you proud of me?
I am. Yeah,
I am.
Black Razor is freaking giddy, by the way.
Oh yes, I know. It's so nice. And this is the
Feed
damage.
me,
I did.
feed me, feed me.
You're singing the theme from the courtship of
33
Eddie's father.
damage on
That's
the first
from.
hit.
Oh goodness gracious! All right, keep at
As a
it.
thunder strike. So the
Now
second
these are
one.
magical items, so none of that matters. All right, yeah. So he just takes damage.
How
With
about
that,
somebody clear the?
it is clear, right?
So I hit him. I don't know.
What are you? I don't know
Yeah,
what you
that's
were doing.
definitely a hit. Yep. No, we got 18 armor class. You're good. Go ahead.
All right, so I hit him. I don't know. I tried to click the dice to move it, and it rolled it again. But
I got rid of it.
third.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So then, yeah, same thing as before. It's the second thunder strike, so I'm going to roll this again.
Whoa!
44 damage.
Damn.
And this is all magical too, so his
Yeah.
damage resistant is null and void.
And then I'll swing to hit him a last time.
Yeah, you should remember to hit advantage instead of just hitting the dice twice.
Yeah. Oh,
Some of the
Yeah, hit
custom
the
dice don't
ADV
come-
button. Yeah, he's right.
there's an ADV button.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
of
for
the
your
custom dice
level,
don't
it's
come.
not too hard for you guys to hit these guys. Really, they just got a pile of hit points.
That'll hit.
That'll hit. Damage again.
And let's roll it again.
37.
37 damage.
Nice.
For a total of 7,900.
It's okay. I've docked.
114 damage.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. Well, let me do. Oh no, it's not half. So I'm not going to make a Constitution roll, but you guys see, Tater try to get in position to help him out, get in a better position, takes a whack for it, and then the first time you've seen Roland in combat with his new sword and armor, and he just kind of rolls his wrist over 3 times as if he's just waving a feather in the wind, and and blood, this blackish bile blood, just absolutely tapestrying the freaking ground around it. And this thing takes a step back and reels from it. Let's see. I also got Lady and I have Honey here. So Lady.
Guy's not
Focus
bragging
fire.
anymore.
What did Honey roll? What did Honey roll?
I'm not. You're first.
She
You
rolled
go
a
first.
16, but
It
we'll just.
doesn't really
Okay,
matter.
okay.
Just kind of do it in order. Go ahead, Lady.
All right.
It's irrelevant. Yeah. I go and
All
then
right.
you go. So.
Yeah, staying like about 100 yards or 100 feet from the one they're attacking, and going
Well, that's going to be kind
to
of hard. You could take your movement and get
Um,
further away. Keep in
attempt.
mind, you guys
hey,
just came out the front door of
No,
the academy.
Yeah.
You
So
Mr.
just
they're
Mr.
came out
right
the
GM.
front
here.
door of the academy, and they landed right there. They were right there, and they attacked you. Now you
Hey,
can move,
Chester.
and I'd say you get
so
your.
who's
Hold on a second.
inside?
Let me finish. All right. I would say
Okay.
you can get yourself with your movement if it's 30 feet, which I'm assuming it is. You can be yourself 60 foot away. What were you trying to say, Puffin?
I neglected that my class adds additional damage. I just calculated that. I can give you the number.
Radiate damage,
Okay.
Well,
radiate, whatever.
as a war cleric, I do an extra D8 on every attack. So I hit him 3 times, so it'd be just 16 additional damage.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it should be at 130 points of
Yeah,
damage.
130 points
Damn.
of damage. Bonk.
Yep.
But I blew my load. I can't use Thunderstrike again until tomorrow.
Well, he's near dead. Anyway, so you can move back some, but it's not going to be 100 feet. But nevertheless, you take your move action? That's free. What are you going to do as your action, though, lady? Now you have one that
My action.
is barely damaged, and a second one that is you think its arm might fall off. It's in bad shape. What are you going to do?
Uh, going to attack it mentally and yell to the inside that they need help out here. There has to be somebody else inside,
Well,
right?
everybody's outside. Everybody. Jason,
It's wigwams.
there's a dragon
Okay.
attacking. Everyone's
Everybody
come
who's
out
here.
to see what the
Yeah.
hell's going on. Everybody is outside.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So
luckily
I'll
there's
get
no
within
students here
range
because it's a
and
Sunday.
roll it. Yeah, luckily.
Okay. You're using a mental attack. It has no
+4.
resistances against that. So go.
Okay. Yay. Um,
It's like
I
devils
got a
attack
+9, not +4. Take that
on the
off.
day of rest.
What was that, Bill?
I said it's
Yeah.
just like devils to attack on the day of rest.
Of course. That's the best day to attack. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I know. but I
Nuns
just-
don't work on a Sunday.
16 doesn't hit.
No, it doesn't. They have 18 armor
Right.
classes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
All
okay.
right.
I mean, you just rolled badly because the +9 is pretty nice. +9 is pretty nice. All you needed
Yeah.
was would you roll a 6? 7. So if
7.
you rolled a 9, so you have like a 50, 60% chance of hitting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Do you have any other attacks or anything else you can do?
So it
Bonus
doesn't
action.
keep in reaction in case I have to cast silver
Well,
barbs
that
or
happens anyway.
initiate silver barbs.
That happens anyway.
Yeah.
Do you what I'm asking you, and of course GOP is asking as well. Do you have any bonus actions? GOP, did you
Yes.
build this character?
I
No,
did
that's
kind
okay.
of partially with her.
But you remember, I have most of the time I haven't got to play it. Just think of that, though.
No, that's true. It's okay. We're
Time
figuring it out.
reaction.
No big deal.
Don't stress it. It's
No.
all good.
Just checking, see if you have any bonus actions.
You don't want to miss anything because you're in a
Yeah, I
hunt
do have
party.
bonus actions, but they're involved with the Mastery of Fire, which I don't have up right now.
Well, here's something you could do just from me like looking over quick because I don't remember everything about it. But one of the things you can do
Yeah.
is, I believe, that's an action, not a bonus action. My bad.
Right.
Okay, well, never mind about that. I
Well, that's okay.
don't see anything off the top of my head.
But in future reference, though, for your character, it seems Mastery of Fire, this whatever this is, may be your first move, right? The thing you do first, because that's where you seem to be specialized. But that's all right.
Yeah.
So you try to make an attack at Solmay. I would assume he's the one that's badly damaged, and he
Yeah.
doesn't even notice that he's
Yeah.
trying to not have death thoughts. But anyway, Honey,
Death thoughts. Oh, those
Here
are
I
the
am.
girls you want to stay away
Okay.
you
from.
are here. A dragon is attacking the town, and there's two freaking devils in front of you. One of them is badly damaged. What do you want to do?
Okay. If I okay, so if I'm within decent range of I can't see don't know where everyone is.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not here.
Sorry.
You're not there.
She's
So in
not
that
here.
case,
Matter of
I guess I'll
fact,
just
by
do
now,
yeah.
Bill, and Dandelion have probably met up on the road.
Okay. In that case, I'll use Gatling gun.
Sure, perfect
Okay.
time for it.
Okay. 3d8. No, I had to roll. Do I had to roll for hit? Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay.
That was Mouse Ritter, right?
That was Mouse Rider. Sorry.
The only thing this
Been
does
playing a
for
lot of
you
games.
is it's a normal attack, but your single attack hits multiple targets. That's the benefit, right? But it's a normal attack, but it hits multiple targets. And the way that, especially with GOP getting out of the way, it allows this to be used because you don't have to worry about hitting anybody from
Right.
your angle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Just the bad guys.
13.
Oh, that's
No.
unfortunate. Do you have
I
luck
suppose
or
my
something
bonus
like that? Because you are a
I
halfling.
I am going to use my War Cleric ability as a reaction.
Hmm.
Twice per day, I can give an ally +10 to hit.
Well, and that would solve it. There you go. So you do hit.
Oh.
Do your damage.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
That's a
Okay.
teamwork.
So,
That's
It is.
88.
uh-huh.
I just want her to kill him so I get his soul and get 100 and whatever hit points.
You want teamwork too.
Dang.
Yeah, teamwork. Yeah. Oh, that could
Actually,
come in handy against a
75
little
is-
old dragon.
Yeah, I need those hit points because I'm going to be tanking.
So yeah, I guess it's that plus, and it's a magic weapon too. So it must have at least.
Can't believe I've
Yeah,
lived
just
to see
roll
the
your
day
Gatling
where
gun damage, honey. Just roll the damage. That's all you have to do. Yeah. Nice.
Roland's a
Okay.
tank.
It's 23.
Okay. Well, he is still up.
May I do my bonus? May I do my bonus move?
Yeah, you most certainly should.
Okay.
All right.
Was it the force ballast?
Force ballast. I can do. That's
The
was
force
2D.
ballistas are no. The force ballistas now are 3d8 plus 5. I can double
Hey,
check
there
that.
you go.
Okay. So I'll use my force or should I use my healing ballast?
I think it's the you can. Well, oh,
The
ooh.
protect
Kill.
one.
Kill.
No,
Kill them.
I was saying if you need to, you can blow that up and it'll make a second attack.
Oh, okay. So I'll use the force ballista
Fetch
now.
me
Okay,
their
good idea. All right. So
souls.
force ballista. All right. Pick up, and I'll do that's the force ballista is 3d8 plus.
It's 3d8. Yeah.
Okay, 3d8 plus.
Oh, okay. I think it's 3d8 for them.
And no modifiers for the force ballista.
No, yeah. I
Okay.
think that's fine.
All right. 3d8. 14.
14
damage.
Very nice. Yeah, he is, not a happy devil.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, very good. Done? Yep, done. Okay. Back top, my turn. All right. So we'll deal with Solmay first. Solmay, as a free action, of course, looks at his brother and says, "Sorry, brother, but you know how it is." And he goes to touch a talisman on his belt. Now, because he is activating a spell, it's therefore an action. Therefore, the one person who is in actual physical combat with him can take an attack of opportunity. Puffin, go.
Hooray!
I was in two because I was
Yeah, but
within his.
you're not as cool though.
Oh, okay.
That was cool.
By the way,
Hey,
you
you
know,
can
One of our party members can
Oh, dang, I
cast
rolled it.
Pickpocket the amulet
still-
off.
I still got him. All right, got him.
counter spell if she needs to. Just saying.
Counterspell?
All right, let me roll my damage.
Yeah, we
'cause it's
don't
not
need any of
stupid.
that. Yeah, leave that
I
for
know. I'm
later.
just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying.
he's dead. I'm just saying that he
Oh,
is trying
Not
to run.
my turn yet, anyway.
It's
Okay,
not.
let
It's
me-
not your turn. But you can. That is a reaction, is what he's talking about. But it wouldn't have
Okay.
anything to do
Yep,
with an
let me-
artifact, though.
But first
Okay, I think this is my base damage. I do a lot of it. Let's see here.
You need
Um,
9. Do you do 9 points of damage? 9.
16.
Yeah. And the reason I say this is the reason why I was just being mean, of course, GOP. The reason I say this is because in order for him to take the soul, he needs to have the killing blow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, think of that team
Ah.
wise, right? Anytime that it can be set up to where Puffin gets the killing blow, that adds to your tankiness, because it gives him extra hit points, right? And of course, you just kind of this sword in your hand is like a feather, right? It's so incredibly
Mhm.
light. You just kind of flick your wrist, and it literally takes off not only the arm that was almost off, but the rest of the shoulder with it. He lets out this infernal roar. Like that? I like that. And he was
Yeah.
already near dead anyway, and kind of falls to the ground. And when he falls down, several pieces of equipment fall off from the slicing of Black Razor.
Of course.
Black Razor is screaming joy in your head, and he loves you. I gotta, if I could kiss you all over. And of course, because infernal
You
or
got one more to kill.
celestial souls are way better than mortal ones. Yep,
He may
the Black Razor
get
sucks
spoiled.
sucks up his soul, takes it into him, and is joyously frolicking in his hallucination, that stuff. You gain
Euphoria.
178 hit points.
Hooray!
Oh.
Temporary hit points, correct? It's a separate pool.
What do you say? It is
Temporary.
but
Yeah.
it lasts 24 hours, so it's all good. But 178 hit points. Now, what does Draga do? Draga was sent here on a mission to do something, but he is a devil, and they are self-serving. Demons will just run suicidally into battle, but devils aren't like that. Draga's brother just dropped dead, which is, saddish. But
Worse, he's never going to see his brother
He
again.
doesn't even realize probably that his brother's never coming back.
no, he doesn't understand. That's true. Now, what they mean by that, celestials, when they get killed in the mortal plane, their souls reincarnate back on their plane. And it depends on the celestial. Sometimes it could take a while for them to reform. But you can't kill a celestial by killing it on the mortal plane like that. Although, Puffin can. So yeah, he doesn't understand that. He is a devil. So the devil is like, yeah, that's enough of that.
Man.
And he takes his action, and seeing no one is in direct combat with them, you don't get attacked for opportunity. He touches his belt, just like Solmay was trying to do, and he disappears. So that sucked, whatever that was. But of course, you know exactly where this is coming from and what's going on. Particularly this group. The other one's like our dragon. By the way, of course, as I said, Dandelion, Badger, and Arune are running up the road together. The rest of you, I'd assume, would try to look toward the dragon. This all happened very quickly, but the dragon is gouting flame upon the keep right now, by the way. What does everybody do?
I get on my broom of flying and I start flying there as fast as I can. I go 50 feet of movement per round. So
You'll be there first. What do you do, anti-paladin?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going. You know what? I'm going to. I'm gonna. Can I grab onto his broom?
No.
you'd be too
No, I
heavy.
can't. I'd be too heavy.
Yeah.
Even with magic armor, I'm too heavy. Okay.
Don't tug on
Then I'm
Potter's
going to
broom.
cast it. I'm going to cast a spell. Let's see. Let me look at my spells. I'm gonna start heading that direction. I just think I have something to make myself move faster. So
That's fine. Well, you
if
are
I
hasted. You did
Yeah,
haste
you are
me.
hasted. You
yeah
get
You are
double. Yeah.
hasted.
double movement, so I'll
You're
move
double
120
movement.
feet that direction.
So
Just boom.
you'll get there first.
Hmm.
Alrighty.
And dash.
And
So
that's
yeah,
And
right. Yeah.
dash.
So you will
you'll
get
get
there
there
That's
first.
faster than me. Way
You will get
faster.
faster.
240 feet.
Anyway, honey, what are you doing? Everyone's running toward the dragon and Iron Keep. What do you want to do?
Okay. Let's see. We want to get there as quickly as possible. Let's see. What can I do to make that fast?
Could you fit on the flying broom? You're much lighter.
No, no, it's a single person use item.
Oh,
Yeah.
even with a half,
No,
even with a half
I
elf.
mean, well, in non-combat situations, maybe sure. The half elf, half healing, maybe, but it is a single person, and we are in combat, so no, you can't do that. I'm kind of surprised you haven't built
So, well,
yourself
I
a
know
mechanical mount
fly.
by now, which is something I would figured you would have done, but
She's been
Right.
wanting to, but there's not really any rules on that.
maybe it's higher level. Yeah. Well, that's
I
all
don't
right.
Well,
That's
know.
all right. That's all right.
We
I'm
make
assuming
the
you're
rules.
heading toward the dragon, is what I'm assuming.
yeah,
How are you
yeah. I'm
doing
heading
that?
toward the
Just
dragon.
running?
Well, I mean, I can cast fly.
Or you could, but you
Then
also
cast fly,
oh,
go.
hold on a second. Maybe
Yeah,
you're the smart one in the party. Maybe.
Hmm?
yeah.
And
Oh,
because
okay.
Wigwam was about to lighten in their ass, by the way, but I didn't get a chance. Damn it! I was going to catch
Oh,
chain lightning, uh, but um, but you're going to be you're the engineer, so you'll be the smart one, and
Mhm.
you kind of grab a hold of your new party member's hand, lady's character, of course, and you go over to Jason and point and say, "Put me there," and he's like, "Okay," and
Mhm.
and now you are sitting at Iron Keep. I don't know what the others are thinking. They're just too excited, I
We
suppose.
were just in the moment.
Yeah. That's okay.
We're
Uh,
That gets
bringing
you
him with
killed.
us, right?
well, no, Jason understands the situation because he's in a bit of a shock too. He's not like he sees dragons every day. I mean, who does?
yeah.
But he from Honey's request, or Lisa's request, he also uses his thing and hovers in an air. It's better doing a wall. It's a smaller thing, but he can. It still works in this case. And everybody who's running
Yeah.
one by one or by group, the three that are together, you guys are bloop, 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 and you all are just a little startled by it because there's no warning, but you're all standing together, and you're at the Iron Keep Mount. The dragon is on the ground actually, and it is eating guards.
Ouch.
Okay, so we're gonna do initiative now, or
No, we're not.
okay.
We are going to leave that for next week, and we're going to have a dragon fight, which will probably take the entire session, to be honest with you. But yes, Xanthus Calistrate, terror of Deepingholm, sits before you, gnawing on the bones of dead guards, looks at you with a gleam in his eye, and says, "Ah, the ones I was sent for. You will be tasty, and Mother will be happy." Fire breath. And we'll pick it up next week.
Yeah.
How
So
many fire breaths did he get a day?
6.
Infinite.
Six.
6 before it starts having
He's,
to
he,
have rest between, and I think it's a 5 round rest or something like that. But it's he can blast out 6 as he likes. Boom, 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 boom. Right. This is an adult red dragon you're
mm,
facing here. It's not an ancient. I didn't do that to you. That would have been mean. But
That would have been
that would have been mean.
way too brutal.
Yeah, that would have been too brutal. However, there is
Overkill.
it's going to be a rough fight. But there is a little teeny advantage on your part. He doesn't. He gets his legendary actions. He gets his magic resistant actions, which they all have. But he doesn't get his layer actions because he's not in his layer. So there's 3 just at any moment he wants to do things he can't do, but he does still have another 3. And but yeah, this is gonna be brutal. This is gonna be great. I wonder who I kill next. Although the
Let's see.
tanky
Go
Puffin
to
is going to
me
be
again.
interesting, and well, no, he's going to learn very quickly that Puffin's the thing he needs to deal with. He's going to learn very quickly, but we'll see. It's going to be a fun fight. Things aren't worked out perfectly. I wanted this to be the cliffhanger for the Calistrate fight, but neat. We have a dragon fight. That's cool.
If
And
Puffin
I ate a demon.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
A
Well,
devil, sorry.
a devil.
Your
But
sword ate
yeah,
a
the sword
devil.
did, but it benefits him. But anyway, so that's a perfect place to leave it, and we'll pick up
It
with
is.
initiative next week for the dragon fight. And like I said, it's probably going to take most of the session to get that done. It's going to be a lengthy fight. I think we never know. It could, you guys could just, barrage it, but it is a pretty badass thing. But it's going to be a good fight, a fun fight, a straight. I mean, Bill. An old red dragon fight. I mean, come on.
I haven't had one in years.
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
excited.
right? It's so old
Yeah.
school. It shouldn't be, but it is.
There's
It's
just so
weird.
many creatures in the world
There
nowadays.
are, yeah, but a good straight up old red dragon fight. Because red dragons do serve Nessus. They serve the devils, right? They're the red dragon great worms, and of course Tiamat herself serves Asmodeus, right? Although she's kind of pissy because she wanted to be an actual Lord of Nessus or Lady of Nessus, but Asmodeus is a bastard, so she serves. She's almost like a slave, really. But Tiamat's far more deep and complicated than that, which Bill quite knows.
Oh yeah, I've had
Yeah,
fun with her before.
yeah. But anyway, any questions?
Nope, I'm good.
How much XP we get?
Oh yeah, that's always a thing. So everybody gets the 500 times your level as usual. Okay. We completed gathering the information for the understanding of the correspondence and the various things like that, and almost everyone was involved in that. And Honey, of course, did the ring. So I guess it's everybody but Bill. And of course, Dandelion's experiences comes off of Bill's experience, and Amy, I guess. But the rest of you get an additional 1,000 experience points for that. I guess. Yeah. What level are you now?
10th.
Oh yeah, 1,000.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
9.
just remind now,
9.
9 or
any
10. Sorry.
any time I say, well, if you're not, well, no, just take 1,000. But those kind of little side things are usually 500 by before 10, and then after 10 it's doubled. Because it's just like a little role playing thing, right? But anyway, all of you guys pick up 1,000 XP off of that. Everybody else.
Oh, I'm level 10 now.
Involved with the demons, but we'll just throw this across the entire party because they were elite devils. Excuse me. So that's how many people we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay.
10.
Well, that actually works out pretty nice. Everybody gets an additional 4,000 experience points.
All right.
So I would assume anyone who was still 9 is not anymore. I don't think anyone's 11 though, right?
Actually,
Oh,
nope. I am. Just barely, but I am.
Hmm. Well, that's nice. Do you know that the adult red dragon, the named red dragon, is 50,000 experience points?
Damn.
That's going to be nice.
I am 3,000 XP away from level 11. Dadgummit.
So everyone got 9,000, or everyone got 10,000, except for Amy and Bill.
Who are a
Wait,
little
10,000
under.
experience?
But
Yeah, they got 9.
everybody should be
The
10th
rest of us
level.
got 10.
Well, that's kind of where I want you. I want you all at around 10th level. For
Well, yeah,
dragon
unless you're
fight.
not. Yeah, it's kind of a little weird. You get 500
Level.
less if you're only 9th level.
No,
But
not
Oh,
really.
I'm,
I said screw it. But
okay.
yeah, just let it be. But
then I'm level 11.
yeah, good.
Woohoo.
Good. That's fine.
All
You
right.
need it. This is a
Yep.
CR like 19 fight, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited and so terrified at the same
You just
time.
can't hide it.
Yeah. No, I might
I'm
get one of you.
so
I might get one of you. Maybe I will. But nevertheless, because this is a bottled fight, just keep that in mind. But nevertheless, thank you all for coming in. Perfect timing here. We got a lot of stuff done. We gained some information, and we are in a cataclysmic fight because all this is going on. You were able to defeat the devils pretty easily, luckily, but because you have an ill rigger with you. But the dragon fight ain't gonna be like that. But Iron Pass is on fire. People are dying. So this is cataclysmic. And of course, all of you in the back of your head, you know why this is happening.
Because somebody's pissed at us.
That's right. It's your fault.
It's all our fault.
It's all our fault. If we had not got involved.
Yeah. Wanted to be a hero and stop the end of the world. Yes. But obviously, this is a response from Darren and her betters. Malatrix, a gift.
So I got 73,219.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you all very much for coming in today. We do appreciate you. And we'll pick this up with a full-on Red Dragon fight. Boy, it's been for a long, long time. Eric says, "What's up, nerds?" Eric, you are a nerd, right? And Eric has expressed some interest in coming in. He'd never done D&D before. You should come and join us, Eric. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
one of
one
us.
of us.
After the
One
big
of
dragon
us.
fight,
Well,
though,
yeah,
okay?
we're kind of locked
When we
into
all
this.
die and we get to start new characters.
Yes, and hopefully Tower shows up next week. But because boy, you could use him. It would cut
Yeah.
into your XP, but you could definitely use that arm. And we'll say he was just frolicking with something somewhere.
He fell asleep
Uh,
at
He got
Wigwams.
drunk.
And
Fell
we woke
asleep.
him up, and now the fight's starting.
Okay,
Yeah,
So-
I finished it.
you finished it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting a blur on the mountains in the back.
Some happy trees,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, there's a happy fire.
Happy fires. Yeah, happy fires. Very nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's
Alrighty.
Lord.
Anyway, we'll see you guys all next week. Have a good weekend and yay, dragon fight. Later, everybody.
Dragon fire.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
bye, Chester.